Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Blood and Sand. A bit of a difficult session because we're going to be losing out on one of our more beloved players by its end due to very important real life requirements and necessities. Promotions have been earned by one Spook, who is our beloved Alistair Dartwood. This will change up his schedule so that he will not be able to continue in Blood and Sand. We might get him in the odd time if we get lucky. We'll see how it goes. But he won't be here for a long period. And who knows, maybe he'll show up in SKT.
He is our Ashley Johnson.
the reason the campaign starts, oh yeah, we'll sort this out and we'll organize and set this up, and then disappears entirely.
Fuck. I did this for you. I did this for you.
Don't you forget about me. So then,
it's gonna be like
speaking
that. It's gonna be like that sad moment with Percy where he just picks up his book and walks away from the table, and I'm just gonna be like, "No, come back!"
no.
He just shuts the door.
It's alright, I won't cry.
So, because it's going to be your last session, you shenanigans-loving son of a bitch. Spook, what happened last?
I don't know.
hang on, here you go, read this.
Oh god, have you actually written... Are those intelligible notes, or is that Nos notes?
Alright, so Spook, if you don't want to recall, I'll recall.
No, I don't mind recalling.
Go on then.
So, we made our way... Where did we end off, like, the episode before that?
We ended up being attacked,
We were attacked by the crag cats.
And
Yeah.
Yetis, and then a figure came out of the snow blizzard.
Yeah, which became the... Oh yeah, we thought it was the cohort at first. But
You thought it was cool.
Yeah, I looked through and it looked like a cohort, but it was the Leshen. And was it... It was after that then that we went looking for the Dwarven citadel to find that.
You did all that in one session, yeah?
Yeah,
I like how you literally just got taken 2 hours and just gone, we fought a Leshen. And
well, when was... The Leshen was part of that episode, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was still the whole fight, wasn't
That's
it?
accurate to my
but
notes.
that was about 2 hours we spent fighting that shitting thing.
So we learned a valuable lesson. Sight is very important.
Hearing,
so is
not
movement.
so much.
Yeah, hearing also quite important. And long legs. Because
Sorry, I didn't hear that. What?
we spent the entire fight not being able to
That'd be
hear
gross.
anything, not being able to see what we needed to see, and with Stanley running around not being able to catch what he needed to hit. We did that for about 45 minutes,
Longer.
maybe longer.
It was quite long.
We eventually took down the Leshen. I nearly died. That would have
Yes.
been a fun end.
Yeah, that
So
would have
like
been
last session.
that would have been ironic, really, wouldn't it?
That would have been really handy for me because I wouldn't have had to write fuck all. You'd just been dead.
And he died.
Dale, pick up the bow. You're the next elephant. Go on.
Guess I'll die.
It's broken. Fix it first.
So we took out the Leshen, and he disappeared. So I didn't get any teeth off that thing, did I?
It's because there was no body
No.
left.
The body shattered and the soul parted to the wind.
Oh yeah, because I thought it might have been a vampire. Because that was the only thing that we've seen since then.
Blair, I want to suck your elf. I know.
Take that out of context.
Blue, I'm sorry, but you turned your head in the perfect timing with the fucking fan behind you, so all your hair just went...
It's the fan of dramatic effect.
After
There you
that,
go.
we discussed whether we were going to look for the waterfall or the Dwarven Citadel. And after arguing for 10 minutes, we realised that we were talking about the same point, because the
Yes.
riddle that we were given told us that if we found the waterfall, we'd find where the dwarves were.
I didn't argue.
Shut up, Stanley. So we went and looked for the dwarves.
I also didn't argue.
We found a little outpost. We didn't go to the outpost. We went to the tunnel leading into the mountain, and we found that inside there was essentially like, I don't know how you'd call it, like a series of barricades leading up to eventually a long forgotten throne room where Nosdo had a moral dilemma. Our one-dimensional character had a moral dilemma on what
He's
to do.
not. one-dimensional. Just one dimension stands out. All right.
He obtained a second dimension when he went to the sea.
Boats travel in more dimensions than you think.
Boats are great.
See, there's the second
Relax,
dimension. Dwarf and boats. Nosdo.
Eventually,
And
we'll
armor.
have enough dimensions
That's my 3
to break
dimensions.
the fourth wall. Maybe. So
Stanji at level 20 is just going to have an armored fucking ship.
Basically, there
that he
was-
attacks with.
There was a voice from
Ah!
going, "Hey, this is really nice armor. This is really nice armor. This is really nice armor.
I've got the stat
Take
block if
the
you want
armor."
it. And he's like, do I? Yeah, so we spent about 20 minutes having a moral dilemma as to what to do with God-forged armor.
Which I then contacted God.
Oh yeah, you spoke to him and was like, is this good? And he didn't use any... I think the reason why he didn't speak was because he thought we were still deaf. I think that's probably the reason why he didn't actually talk.
No, because whilst the characterization of the augury spell does give... No, if you look at the augury spell...
Was an augury of being.
No, commune, same thing, but really... It can give premonitions or indications. Augury is a direct yes, no, maybe. Commune can give visions that you can interpret.
At the dawn of time!
Stop it.
Basically.
But
Fuck off my campaign.
He's going
That's-
to.
Yeah.
Session's ended, he's out, bye.
We're done.
Oh.
Alright, see you
Alright,
guys
well,
tomorrow.
Armor.
See you guys
Dungeon
next week.
So Nosdo has some amazing armor that... Have I gone?
No, someone genuinely just did it just to fuck with it.
So Nosdo has some awesome armor. We also found an awesome hammer and a shield. So he's contemplating using those while Buckley contemplates like doing what he wants to do with them, I imagine.
Yeah, he's just there, just breathing heavily.
Holy armor of a dwarf god that I worship. Twat. Who deserves this armor?
I'm keeping the shield, and no, I'm not
Also,
bitter about it.
there's the dilemma: dwarf, human.
You can have my old shield.
Might kill me if I put it on.
What if I cut my knees off so I'm the same height?
You did determine that not being a dwarf and wearing this armor might not be a healthy life choice.
Yeah, that was.
We discovered that would be a bad idea, so...
I can convert you. It'll take years.
Plastic surgery.
Well,
Worse.
if we know
Heavy
somebody who knows
drinking.
reincarnate, it'll only take 6 seconds.
I'll take a few attempts,
Lucky
though.
dice roll.
I'll take a few attempts.
But yeah, we left...
Go to Scylla, just keep having him get dropped from a high point, and just keep bringing him back and seeing what way you get.
We left the session where we were just camping out in the midst of, like, the throne room, wasn't it? We stayed
Yeah,
in the
there's,
throne
there's
room.
literally one entrance, so
Yeah.
we basically barricaded that ourselves. And
Well, we fabricated another door.
no, we fabricated
I-
another wall.
Well, no.
Doors
I
can be
fabricated-
opened.
I fabricated a door and installed it.
So, you fixed the place.
He's a carpenter.
And that
Hey,
was
Toblerone.
where we finished, basically, wasn't it?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yes, that
That's
was
very
exactly
nice.
where we ended. So, you are all exhausted and beginning to go to sleep, each and every. Are you guys going to be doing shifts for night watch, or
First.
I always do first and last.
I'll do second.
Do first.
Or don't even think about
because-
first.
I'm just asking now.
Yeah, I'll do second then.
I'm just asking now. Because it's going to be moments that are involved heavily with character, are you guys okay with me having what is going to happen with Alistair's dreams here, or will I bring him to DM Whispers?
I think we should. It would be nice to see it.
I mean, you'll just watch it online anyway, so...
Yeah.
It's all gonna be
Or I'll
me.
just ask
No.
you. Or I'll just
So
ask
I have to politely ask everyone but Alistair, mute yourselves.
Oh, boy. Story time.
So,
Did you mute
Delmara
yourself?
and I believe it
Oh,
was
yes.
Sanji or Nazdo are now going to be on first watch.
Can you still
Alistair.
hear me?
You sit for a period, unable to sleep. There's like an edge at the back of your neck, like something foreboding, eerie, and it's protruding. It's in the back of your mind. Your eyes are bent and just focused towards the bow. Its splintered and malformed essence is nearly whimpering into your ear as you just hold it gently with your fingers. You're in a cold place, but then the first thing you notice is the temperature dropping. And this is happening as you feel like you almost fall into the light that is emanating from the cracks within your bow. You feel as if you have a longing for something, but you're uncertain for what it is. You have your friends, you have great adventures and opportunities to become a legend. You have everything you want, but there's something more, something primal, like an urge of some animal or a wild. And as you look now out towards where your friends are, you don't see any of them. You are not within the remnants of the Dwarven throne as you were but a second ago. You're within a woodland, deep in the throes of winter. All trees about you are barren, skeletal, and a deep layer of snow is around you on all sides. You pull yourself up and you look around, and you begin recognizing things. Creatures you've hunted and killed, but not just beasts, monsters. The fiend that assaulted you in the middle of the night, the bugbear that you had to strangle when you were by yourself scouting. A bullet that in the throes of its combat and the rush of its adrenaline, you barely even remember the fight. And in the distance, on all your peripherals, you see other things. You see this fey entity that you had fought the day before. Maybe just on the tip of your eye's peripheral in the distance, turning away into the snow. You're looking around, and to your north, you see a very familiar humanoid shape. Heavy and rotund, turning and walking into the snow. You look around further. You see a man you don't recognize, tall and brutish, with a heavy blade on their back and these hides that they wear, turning and going into the snow in the south. And then you look east, and you see a figure approaching you. You see, as you're looking about, how this feels to you. It is like a dream in that it feels like an experience that is outside of your body. And soon, you are encompassed on all sides of your peripheral. All of your vision is Corellian Larithian, your pact deity. They appear in their sky blue armor. A beautiful long hunting spear is holstered against their back, and a war horn is at their side as they have a long cloak of flowing leaves and plant matter atop their back. Both eyes, one swirls clockwise gold, the other swirls anti-clockwise silver. You've had a long road, my hunter. A long one indeed for one so young. It has had you face many foes, many atrocities, and many great things to hunt, great game. With this family that you've made yourself, you've moved now to the peak of the world, where your trial will be the Godborn. They will decide if you can achieve this leg of your quest. But after that, I will need you to say farewell to your friends. You are my hunter. And I need you to be at my side across the plains beyond the barriers around Delanai. I understand this may be something troubling for you in your heart. So I must give you a vision, a glimpse. Should you not come with me, this will transpire. And they just place their thumb against between the bridge of your nose and your two eyes, and you blink. As you do, the cacophony of sounds rings into your ear immediately. This almost overwhelming. You nearly have to hold your ears, and you recognize what you see around you now. This is Distun. In the heavy throes of a siege, the gates have been torn down, and you see hobgoblins and armored trolls battering their way through. There was a bloodbath between the guards of the city, fiends, imps, devils, and and other such monstrosities, and your newly found allies. There are Drow, there are the people of New Grove, there are the forces of Guan Chi all together. And you're looking about this great, it's a bloodbath, and as you see it, you are frozen in place. You cannot interact and see until a voice picks your ear. And you see Delmar. She is dashing through the streets. There's a heavy stream of blood across her face. And she is drivenly determined, as you've always seen her. And she dashes behind an opponent, and this burly guard, she just gets right up and into the lung with a knife. Pull back the blade as they crumple down. And as they do, a hand extends from the shadows and just grips her face. And just lifts her. And she stabs into its wrist, into its hand, a blade sinking straight through the center of the palm. Until you just hear a crush. And she goes limp. As Crumblebottom throws her aside and steps throughout further into the mass. You hear a titanic roar, a creature you've heard before, a creature that Scylla took the form of. And you look now, and you're in a different area of this large city. You see cannons and a gun line, all firing. You see the form of this large reptilian creature collapse down, the form of a large empowered bear form being shattered then away, and it is just Scylla. And you see him essentially taken down by line after line of gunfire. Spears and glaives turn from all sides and impale him. You see Merok flying above the city, flames and the wings of fire erupting from his back, in a duel with some malignant fiend that you've not seen before, that has a constantly warping face and body to them, lashing out towards him in delight as it chases him. You're in the arena. You see in the center of this arena Galgorod. From all around the arena, you see these holes that have been opened up, and there are harpoons launched through, and they are taut into his body on all sides. He's held aloft maybe 15 feet from the ground, 20 feet from the ground, and there is a massive cut down his stomach as he screams in pain, and his blood is pouring onto the arena. You see Aeon's soul, his body is but mere inches from his father on all sides, but he physically cannot move. And you watch Aeon's soul is piked by an enormous Baelor, who is laughing as Galgorod looks down towards this, desperately screaming and crying for his son. And then your vision takes you to around the battle. You see many great and powerful entities. You see a stag with what looks as if it has caught the clouds and stars in its antlers over the entire stream of the buildings, of all this stomping down and crushing through places, using its antlers and bashing things aside. You see a wolf, a familiar wolf, one that you have encountered before, fighting, biting, and clawing towards all those that you would see as allies. You see an enormous black dragon. You've seen this one before, spewing out fire and death and acid and misery, titanic even towards Galgorod, crushing entire regiments with pulping strikes. But many of these creatures you feel like don't even belong to this plane. There is an unnaturalness to them. And your vision comes back to the forest, to Corellia. You must understand. There are things that are now attempting to break the barriers of your world. They can be beaten and killed in their own lands, but they cannot fall here. In this place where they have once had worship, they will gain prevalence and power again. And your great scavengers, and as he says this, you see Galgarond to one side. You see the wolf, Ban Maktir. You see that stag that you do not recognize. You see, and behind them all then, an enormous fish-like face, like an enormous catfish that has these bioluminescent dots atop the brow of its head that goes all the way back, its titanic head, maybe 60 feet wide. And unlike a catfish that has a wide gaping mouth, there are rows and rows of malformed shark teeth. And those things disappear. Not even they would stand against the creatures from the other realms. I need a hunter by my side. I need one that can act on my will and call upon my wrath. I need you, Godwood. But I still need one last test. If you complete it, then you will come with me. Make your way to the top of the summit. The challenges you have faced in your life before this are going to be varied compared to what you are now experiencing. The Godborn will test you, and not just in might or wits, but to make sure your heart is worthy to look upon the waterfall of the gods. Go, my child. Rest. There is work for you tomorrow. And you will next wake up when your 8 hours are done.
2 things. One, I imagine as I watch, as me and Della having this first watch, I just imagine Alistair sleeping, kicking his fucking legs like a dog. 2, while you were describing the scene with the massive black dragon, Blue messages me, "Where's my dragon there?"
You? I wondered why Stanley was losing it. I was like,
I'm not gonna lie, I'm very glad I asked you all to mute beforehand.
Oh fuck, that was spot on.
I even asked Stangy, what the fuck are you laughing about?
Oh man.
I find it so funny.
It just took me off guard. I was like, who's messaging me? What? Oh.
I'm very glad I asked you to mute.
I only sent it because we were muted.
Stay dead, damn it! While I get another drink. Fuck me. Oh.
So, for Damara and for Nosdo, your passive perceptions together, during the night, you hear movement from outside. Small feet and little gimmering goblinoid sound. But they do not advance on the door and they do not investigate the area. It more just seems like there might be a drove or clan of goblins that still reside within the mountain.
I get a really bad urge to go out there and kill them. I don't do it.
Oh,
I would like to express to everyone that I would like to kill them. I can't, but I would like.
I mean,
Des, I forgot to say it last time. On the door, whenever I put it up, it had "Don't open, dead inside." But in that order, so it's "Don't dead, open inside."
Goblins, not understanding what common means, just said, nah.
Yeah.
oh no, don't deads.
Don't deads.
They're goblins. Even 4 words is TLDR. So your watches go uneventful. Alistair, you don't even wake up from your rest. And Nazdo and you see when Alistair is there asleep, he just seems very unrestful as he's.
Oh, I got a tummy ache.
Have I awoken at this point?
Do they wake you up?
Probably not. Unless Nosdo does.
Not unless it's the end of the watch.
No, it's the end of your watch, is what I mean.
No, no.
Well,
Did he say second watch?
At the end of our watch, he said he was going second, so yeah, I guess.
Oh, I'd kick him in the shins.
Alistair, you have a cold, and Della, you fucking perception bitch. He has a cold sweat to him, as if he's been experiencing.
Wake up!
I sit myself up and I rub my eyes awake.
Mhm.
I fart and go to sleep.
Bad dream.
More of a vision.
One of those.
Did it have boobies in it?
No.
Not interested.
Who's on second watch with me?
Shimmer, I think.
Okay.
Kick him in the shins.
I'll go over and wake Shimmer up as well then.
Okay.
Guess I'll go and have my rest since Alistair clearly doesn't want to speak. Damara's not the kind of person to ask.
Mhm. You go have a nap.
I'm just gonna sit there sort of staring towards the door but not focused on it and just try and process everything that I've just seen. And
Mhm.
Alistair is going to do his thing of trying to think of a way out of it, an alternate that may not have been thought of, as he always does. Something that's
I am going to not engage in RP.
Does anyone have alcohol in the party?
I'm pretty sure I do.
Can I have it?
Oh, he needs it for cooking.
Sure.
And I want all of your bacon and eggs. Wait, I think you may have misunderstood what I said. I don't want a
All.
large sum of bacon and eggs. I want all of your bacon and eggs.
He is not Ron Swanson, sir.
I could be.
Alistair, after you wake up, and as you prepare to go back to sleep, you find that you're lying with your eyes closed. You cannot force yourself asleep. You feel like while you can lie and you can rest, sleep doesn't come to you. You will regain the full effects of a long rest, but you do not have.
Do I notice that he has pointier ears?
Hey, full elf ears are longer than half elf ears.
Are you looking for his ears being pointy for whatever reason?
No,
It just
not
comes
really.
up to him.
Exactly.
I can't see my own ears.
I thought half-breeds had normal ears. Oh, sorry.
They've only
human
got. Usually, they either have like slightly more elongated ones, like Lord of the Rings style elves.
ears. Oh, right, fair enough.
Or they don't have WoW elves. To give you an idea, WoW elves is solely for pure elf.
That's what.
I
pure
mean,
elves
WoW
are.
Elf is a fucking helmet on top of their head.
Yeah, WoW elves and full
Stoink!
races come out this long, so Damara's ears are like out here.
I'll just keep sort of tossing and turning and trying to switch to a different position to try and get to sleep.
Yeah, your
You
ears
don't
also,
find
right.
yourself uncomfortable, but you don't feel forced to.
I'm just going to keep reliving the same vision over in my head, like
Mhm.
running over bits and
Trying to
wondering
pick
where I
out
was.
points and yeah.
Where was
Careful.
so-and-so at one point? Could it have been better if someone wasn't there?
If X person was there instead of X person there,
Why was Del on her own? We have a new rule: we never go anywhere on our own. How did it reach the
what
stage?
caused her to have to go on her own?
Yeah. Where was
Where's my
everyone
good
else?
friend Buckley?
Yeah, where was everybody else?
Where was that glorious
Fucking-
pink mustache?
Vietnam flashbacks over here.
That's actually a very good point. Delmara was the only person of your party you did see throughout that encounter, which probably isn't a.
It's alright. There wasn't any belts, so clearly I wasn't there.
Don't worry, I'm probably not on this plane anymore. I'm dead.
You probably failed your saving throw and you're dead.
Buckley got banished for trying to banish something else.
A fiend banished him.
No, you banished. No.
in the middle of some
Curses!
balls.
If anything, Shimmer's like
Buckley
a pile
gets
of ash somewhere.
banished. Buckley gets banished, and when he reapparates, it's 5 Baylors. It's boom, 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 boom.
It's just the John
You did
Travolta.
this.
Yeah.
No, it's gonna be banishment. No! Oh, hey, I'm not at this plane. What the fuck? What the hell happened?
Where am I? What is this?
You've heard of counterspell. Now get ready for reverse spell.
Can you imagine that the most simple like counteract to a wizard would just be a mirror?
You mean like something like those Cragcats could, where they reflected spells, or the Tarrasque's plates? Two more very, 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 very powerful elements.
Hilarious.
Was that just kind of a thing of their called?
We've got
I'm
one,
not
we've
sure it
got
works
one
after
with
they're
us.
dead.
The fact that nobody's tried to skin one yet is very
We
surprising.
bought
to
one
me.
with us. We bought one
mean-
with us for food, so we
I
have
did
a
forget.
corpse.
We did skin them. That's we ate the fur.
Yeah. We skin. We.
I mean,
It's the
no.
fur.
And I wonder if I could maybe put some of that
You could
on a
certainly
shield.
try.
I don't need new armor. It's fine.
No, it's for me, dickhead.
Oh, okay. You can have it.
Fucking
I
Bucky
allow
just
you.
walks out of this dwarven stronghold in full Banbaro armor.
He just has that,
I mean-
that thought while I was sat there like,
No, mainly
I
just
could
put
use
it on
new
the
armor.
shield.
Yeah, basically that's exactly what he does, Spook. He goes, wait.
Yeah, just like,
enormous stone door that he's put there, and he still manages to open it and he just skulks out in his armour like, where the fuck's he going? There's a 40-knot gale out there.
Ah, he's fine.
For those wondering, this is what Banbaro armor is.
Just.
For
It's,
those wondering,
it's
Blue
just.
wants an excuse to link something from Monster Hunter Ice.
I'm really excited!
Hey, I can't talk. Look at all the Warhammer, Warcraft shit I use.
right.
There's no shame here.
Like, there's a person inside that fur somewhere.
Did you
Somewhere.
say we fought a
Somewhere.
tiger? That's similar to Tigrex. There are Tigrexes in the new DLC.
Ah!
Tigrexes, what?
Not so.
Hello. Oh shit! No! Yep.
Sayonara!
I'm going shit, fuck, shit.
The real secret is that Stanji's not playing the campaign anymore.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Dun,
put
dun,
my mug- I'm
dun.
gonna put my mug in the kitchen. You doing yours?
Yeah, I'm done with mine.
I told you there are things Shimmer's fears.
On.
Ominous. Ominous vision. Y'all died.
Lay down, kid. Yeah, no shit. I knew the day was gonna come. Lay down.
I would like to point out that it was foreseen that when I leave the group, you all die.
Well, no. If that's supposed to go the way that he's doing it, it's foreseen that once you leave the group, we actually are doing better. Because you're elsewhere dealing with shit.
I like to imagine when Grunt dies, it will be being being killed by overwhelming odds, and once she's dead, she kills 5 more.
Martyrdom.
Katie, where you at? Why are you not in your bed?
Aww.
I can just picture her being dead with
What are you
her
doing?
hands wrapped around somebody's throat.
The reason why you can picture that, Nemo, is because that's probably the only way you can kill Grunt is with her.
It's in her sleep, yeah. Fucking die! Ugh. What? Hey, dog. She keeps trying to eat shit off the floor.
Stop shitting on the floor.
I knew that was coming.
He's got you there.
You lay down.
That was the cat.
That definitely was
was
on the
the cat.
mic.
That
That
was
was
the cat.
definitely on the mic. That was
Here.
disgusting.
Get in your bed and lay down. Now.
Oh, whoa. Is Stanji actually writing stuff down?
Yeah, he's taking
does
feverish
that.
notes. Look at him.
I know, but like,
That's
look at him,
enough.
he's like serious.
Okay. This does not bode well.
Yeah, if he's actually writing shit down, that's not a good thing.
I can somewhat agree with that, Patters. That thought has crossed our minds. I mean, in the last fight, I was genuinely hoping that I would have to make a death saving throw in private. So,
Hello.
So did we find a bag
Hello?
of devouring?
Do you put your hand in it?
if we're talking about me again, no. I refuse.
I don't think you're supposed to tell us that. You find a bag.
Do you put your hand in it?
No!
The Patters. The best failed trap ever.
So then, comes around the third watch, pretty uneventful. I'm pretty sure Grunt's on it anyway, so it's a suicide mission for anyone.
Grunt gets bored and picks
It's
fight
like
with
that
the
one
door.
guy from Batman where like the goblin peeks their head in, sees Grunt, and just goes, it shuts the door again.
Smartest goon in all of Gotham.
Nothing
Is there somebody
that
in there?
room.
Nope.
Nothing in that room. Just leave it.
So, you'll begin finding yourselves to wake properly. Grunt is already making some excuse of food.
Toenails.
Leftover crag
Yeah.
cat.
I mean, I would have had
Fried
breakfast.
jerky.
Okay, that works.
I will wait for proper breakfast from Shimmer. From someone
Give me food
qualified.
and drink. I don't care what it is.
I just pick up a crag cat bone. You just hear crunch, crunch.
That was a rock.
That was. He thought he.
I'm
she,
part of the
she-
barricade.
She thought she was grabbing the skull. She was just grabbing a boulder.
Yeah. Although it was oddly
She doesn't have dark vision. It's quite dim in here.
Basically like a dog I used to have, a Corgi Jack Russell Cross. He didn't actually. He picked up a rock and split it with his teeth, and he's like, "Oh, that's not food," and then just moved on to his. It's
Do
like,
you want some, do
dear God, that's terrifying.
you want some seasoning on that, or
He just keeps crunching.
I don't know.
Happy.
I'm gonna try taking some of the pellet and attaching it to my shield.
Okay. Do you have a leather working kit?
Yes, I do.
Okay, make a leather. Make a skill check with it.
Dexterity.
You're bad at rolling, just so you know.
Mhm. Actually,
Shut up, Sandy.
make me an intelligence check as well. Capri sounds good. So, you're looking at it and you're trying to think of how you can properly apply the pelt over. And you're thinking maybe from point to point, if you can get some way of having like a small hook or a noose or a hole that you can just tie it into on one side and string it onto the others and then get it across. You're thinking you might be able to pull it off, and as you focus on it, it's not perfect. This is something that, like, say, you could spend, because this is not metal that you are crafting, it could take you a full day of actual, like, work and dexterous effort to properly and permanently sew it on, but you have a temporary crag cap.
Good enough for now.
The fucking dwarves in the day were smaller.
Oh, he's actually changing his armor.
Yeah.
Do you need to borrow a corset?
No. Unless it's for my legs.
He's doing the wiggle. Zoop.
Greg can use their teeth, but Nosdo can crush boulders with his thighs.
I just hand him some butter.
Fuck.
He
Oh, thank you.
I'll just have to admit to not being quite a
handed
48-inch
some
waist
oil
anymore.
for greasing up the gears there.
It's a little tight across the chest.
Okay.
Getting this.
After 15 minutes of effort, you do manage to get into it.
Grunt, hold his head and just shake him up and down into his armor.
I'm ready to go.
I can't get in! Donk!
I can't get out!
And then I let it magically fit. Because that's
Then
how
it
works, right?
magically suits and fits to every extremity of you. And also, it's weird. It's not heavy.
I had a wedgie.
It's not heavy, and it fits to form like scale mail does.
Hmm.
It's basically like one of the more like further on Iron Man suits. In fact, that it's just like to skin.
How do I look?
No.
I can see way too much of your butt.
I was gonna say.
Mhm.
This reminds me
It
of.
fits
of
like
Homer.
it fits for him like it, but
Okay.
for all of you, it does look like a proper suit of armor. The
Okay.
interior
Uh,
is form fitted. The exterior looks like he's a small tank.
So it doesn't look like he's wearing a jumpsuit.
No, he doesn't look like
I was afraid
stupid
this was
sexy
gonna be-
Mazdo.
I feel like it.
I was afraid this was gonna be a thing of like
Stupid sexy
stupid
Sanji.
Flanders. Yeah.
Yeah.
Feels like I'm wearing nothing at all.
Nothing at all. Nothing
Who
at
wants
all.
my old shield?
I was thinking of someone completely different.
Oh God. No.
I give him a playful tap on his new arm.
No.
Arrgh.
No. Close the. No.
This is what I was thinking.
No.
Of.
Luke, stop looking at porn.
No.
Shield. Does anyone here use shields except me?
I mean, I do.
I mean, if
Do you
Alistair's
want-
bow stops working, maybe
the hell?
him.
I mean, I'll take it.
Philadelphia.
That definitely works.
Copy image address.
Thankfully
Oh.
not.
What the fuck?
That's what I was thinking of when you were describing.
Thankfully not.
Yeah, that's
Thank-
what I was
Digimon.
like. This is not good. I was
Not
like,
exactly a
What that is? I
dignified
don't
way.
know. I don't know what that
Not
is.
exactly a
It's a
dignified way
Digimon.
for for a dwarf lord to be dressed up. Like that's how all the great dwarf lords are. Skin tight.
Sexy metal monkey.
Thanks, I hate it. Luckily,
Thanks, I
can we
hate
get him
it.
some sort of chain skirt to go with it? Just something.
That's
Anything.
I'm
Doesn't
gonna
look
I'm
like
gonna
it
need
for us.
stats.
Yeah.
By the way.
Somebody's handing out
Plate
shields.
mail +2.
Ooh. What about the shield?
It's
Okay,
+2 magical. And the details of it I will give to you later because I don't think you might get
So
into
the
it.
plus says right. There is a plus.
No, it's a +2. Like shield is normally +2. It's also +2 magic.
So it's +4.
+4 shield.
The old
I
shield
have
that
a-
gave was a +1.
I have a +1 shield for anyone who wants.
I mean, I'm good with my 2 shield.
Who's gonna be the one getting twatted in the face more likely? Alistair
Probably.
probably.
I mean, I could just have it back
You should probably have it back.
now that you found something better.
It is his shield, so.
Sure.
And then I'll give the bone hammer back to Grunt.
There is no in between of the extremes. It's either that or that.
I don't really need the hammer, but sure, I'll take it.
I mean, it's a keepsake thing because you had it for a long time, so you might as well.
Bag of holding.
Yeah, put it in the bag holding.
Go hold it.
Fair enough.
And do you want to do that? You're generally in charge of the bag of holding.
What's going in there?
Well,
Oh yeah, somebody else is gonna have to take care of that in the future.
Says you. I'm taking this shit with me.
Bye
Bye, guys. Sorry, I forgot to. Ooh, look.
It's like
Promise.
It's like Vex. It's like Lex. It's like Vexalia. Leave your boots, you fucker.
What am I being? What's going in the bag? Sorry.
The bone hammer, was it?
yes.
Aeon saw from across the map. Where'd that fucking sword go?
Wait a minute. That's not on this plane of existence.
Whoops.
Whoopsie!
Oh,
You never know, you might need it.
Sorry, that was an accident. I was clicking on my
Alistair
MC
leave
and
with the
getting
bag.
a boner. Fine.
So it goes, he stole my money again.
Oh,
Yeah, you've rolled initiative.
Time for a fight.
put the Smith's Bane armor in there as well,
That one.
because I'm not gonna carry that shit around.
I might actually need some weights for some of these things. Then.
It was 65 for the
55.
65 for the armor.
56.
The warhammer weighs the same as most war.
You guys carry on. I'm
Sanji
doing
apparently is ready to fight. So, what do you guys do
When is he not ready to fight?
when he's out of his armor?
Well, I guess once everybody's awake, we'll continue on our journey because we have a goal to go head towards.
To the top of the tower.
I mean, mountain.
Hey, Nosdo, I don't suppose it's traditional for dwarves to make some sort of, like, shortcut, maybe?
I don't know, but if you like elevators, I can show you one.
What's an elevator?
I don't know. It's a thing that goes up.
Well,
Wait, we have elevators? What the fuck are you talking about?
They're just not electric
They're
elevators.
called lifts.
System of weights and pulleys, as in you put a heavy dwarf at the top, attach a bit of rope to him,
And let go.
and let go, and then other people on the cart go upwards.
Even Grunt
Yeah.
knows what this word.
Do you think it's
It's literally a thing that elevates you.
Do you think it's possible that such a thing exists here? Because if we could find a shortcut to the top, that would be wonderful.
I mean, is everyone ready to go?
Think
Ready
so?
as we'll ever be. We're fed.
Got some
Alright.
health on my shield.
Kaz into von drawers.
Has anybody who needs to prepare spells prepared them, Buckley?
As you guys are all like speaking about these things,
Wait,
you just hear
you
shut up. You hear Naso shouting out a dwarven phrase, and you see the eastern wall of this room just like actually just melt a small crack, part and push, and there is an enormous wooden set or platform.
I have no idea how long we've got, so we might as well get on.
I have no idea how you did that.
Neither do I. Don't worry about it. Small details. Might have had a vision. It's
I
not
know what he
important.
said in Dwarvish.
I
So-
can speak Dwarvish.
So
I'm a
Can you
dwarf.
do that? So you can do that with the treasure room?
No, we're not being distracted. Besides, things probably laced with traps.
It's alright, we've got a rogue
Have we?
with enlightened self-interests. Better known as greed.
That's still 10 gold from Alistair.
Sleight of hand check.
No!
I'm joking.
Knowing you,
I looked up the Warhammer on Roll20 and apparently its weight is 2.
Yeah.
2 what? I don't know, but 2.
£2, yeah.
Spook,
Pound.
can you roll higher than
Presumably.
22?
No!
Then I succeeded.
I can still see you though. No!
I'm joking.
I'm gonna punch you.
I'm joking, but I just said that because of reliable talent. You have to roll 22.
That's the best way of making sure that vision doesn't come through. I'll kill you now.
What?
I don't say that.
I was about to say, do you say that?
Oh,
'Cause that would
I'll
be
kill you now
dumb.
before he can. Wait, what?
That way I defeat fate.
Right.
I don't think we want to piss fate off.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure all my spells are good.
I mean, where does this
think I need
elevator
anything.
take us? Because when I pictured this mystical grove or waterfall or whatever it's set in, I didn't picture it having a small hole with a wooden pulley system made by dwarves that just sort of arrived at it.
Well, I imagine it's not.
No,
it's
but
not
this
gonna
takes
take
us up.
right there, but it'll at least get us part way.
But
Look, it
Walk
goes
into the
up.
elevator.
That's what you want to do. Go
It's
up.
quicker than going along the outside and fighting more mountain
Quick,
cats.
quick question. Quick question. This elevator was made for dwarves. How well am I fitting into this with the rest of the...
What you look is when you actually see it, it's 10-foot space actually is opened up and spread across, and it spreads for because this is quite a large throne room, and actually spreads, and you watch as like the stone that was encompassing it just melts into like the far wall, like not as if there's a space, it literally melts in, and the entire space in there is maybe 60 foot of not a diameter because it's not a sphere, but of point to point from like left to right on its longest points is 60 feet across, and it is 60 feet wide as well.
Okay, so this is a freight elevator. Very good.
Dwarves are efficient. If you need your army to be at the top of the mountain, you need to send it all in one go.
Sometimes you need to
Just
hold
So
out.
they had them
concerned.
stand on top of each other?
that we have like two mountains like this, right, where the peaks don't like overlap each other. So we're going to the top of one peak, and we actually need to go to the top of a different higher peak. Is more what I'm concerned.
Then we're
could
just.
go
I can
up
build a
and come
bridge.
Back down, and
Get in! Alright.
If we're on the wrong mountain, we just take the elevator back down.
Probably.
I don't know.
It's the elevator music.
No.
There will be with Nozda involved.
Dwarvish elevator music. Gold. Gold.
Yep.
Gold.
Fart in the elevator. Do it. Do it.
It's not that.
It's not that cramped. Not
I
even
know.
Nazo's bowels could produce something that could affect.
If you stand
That's
next
alright.
to me,
That's all right. Him and Grunt can engage.
No,
in
you
a
can't.
fighting
Stop it. Stop it. I'll have one of you shit yourself before you get up.
I'm proficient with a loot.
Do you own a loot?
I never actually got around to buying a
I
loot.
know.
so you blow well. Good job.
Not what a loot is.
Loot is a string instrument, so
You're
wait.
thinking of a flute.
I'm a dwarf. I only know the bagpipes.
If somebody could play a lute with their fucking
yeah,
just
then
a-
he'd be very good.
that's fucking impressive.
Angry dooting!
What they do with the lute is they actually pull the strings with their teeth.
Yeah. Okay.
So you all step in, and what you see is a heavy wooden platform of thick, well-treated oak. As you all step up onto it, there's a small space towards because it's actually like a long slope, and you see a gear essentially in place at the side of the slope. It cuts into the actual thing, the stair itself, and as you've all stepped in, the door behind you, and it doesn't slow. It's a case of once there is nobody else inside who's not wanting to go up, that door slams shut in probably about 6 seconds. So
I didn't do
you really wouldn't have wanted to have been in the line of it, but you also can imagine that many creatures eager to try and get on one of these things that weren't allowed probably got fucked quickly. So you all stand there for the second looking about. I will explain it to you.
No rush.
Yeah, I will tell you about it. Don't. So, as you guys all step in, you just hear steam valves from all sides. You just hear as the gear continues to move, and you all begin elevating with it at a very rapid pace, maybe 60 feet or so.
It's a good thing we're going so fast because I heard lots of snakes and umberhulks down below that were going to attack us. Fortunately, we're travelling too fast for them now.
What? Where did snakes come from?
Also, real quick, out of character here.
Plane.
I don't like that it's apparently going fast because that sounds like it's a thing of off we go.
It got to the top of this mountain, and then that mountain, and then that mountain.
It's like
And
the
then
like
the
the
ground.
elevator. Up and out. Ding.
Listen, you wanted to get there quick. I
So
didn't
we're
say
basically
sex.
Charlie in the Chocolate Factory now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you all continue
doesn't-
up along.
Yeah, Grunt doesn't know much about medicine, but realizing that we're going up rather rapidly is going to keep an eye on them to make sure they don't get mountain sickness.
You're more likely just to get an effect of how fast you're moving, but it's not at an uncomfortable pace. Your ears do. What the thing is it takes maybe an hour,
Like going up in a plane.
and your ear does.
Ow.
Ah.
Has anyone got any boiled sweets? Are
Sorry.
we all deaf?
What? Mark?
For 6 seconds you were deaf, and then you just clacked your jaws, and everyone's ears worked again.
Except for Grunt, who apparently has none of those issues.
Yeah, you don't have any issue. You don't give a fuck.
Is just like, oh, they're getting mountain sickness.
They're all playing
Nothing
the
I can
game
do.
of who's got the biggest mouth.
Nah. Roll for mouth checks.
No, stop.
It's okay.
Going up, I hand out snacks.
Strength? Oh, charisma. Fuck off.
Boom.
You're fine. You're fine. Holy shit. You don't matter. Shut up.
Oh.
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 Wow.
It's his last session, Das.
Good. Give him shit.
Yeah.
I mean, he wanted shenanigans.
Use your shenanigans, fuckface.
Shenanigans will
After
Personally pissed
another,
off the next
after your
conversation
ears
about
pop, there's another 30 minutes of travel, and then begins, and it slows down, getting to the high point. You all step off onto the small stone platform, and you can see dwarvish writing on a wall facing you. And it is essentially just a indication of
Floor 13.
Thank you for visiting.
no. It speaks High Engineers Overlook, and you look
fancy.
about. There's a steel door to the right, like say right very corner of this place from where you step out. It's like a pretty much square. Designed and carved, very well carved stone area around you, except for the above, which has just gone into the jagged mountain where it hasn't been excavated. You open. Who opens the door? Because that's pretty much your only way.
Hey!
So as you open it up, whoop, your hand gets slapped and the door gets slapped by the
Ah!
immediate wind, and you look out and you are over the clouds.
Ah! I don't like heights. Did I mention that, by the way?
Well, obviously you don't like heights.
Well, we're definitely higher up.
Prefer the sea level.
Yeah, you guys immediately get hit with the cold, you get hit with the wind, and it is a case of the wind is constant and loud in your ear.
Are you okay?
Sorry, I was just doing more of Das's math because Das math's funny.
Stop being a bitch!
It's funny though, I won't be able to do this in the future.
Why, fine, based off your maths of these figures that we were given, that we were travelling at like 60 feet
A second for
second
30
for
minutes.
30 minutes, how high up are we?
Cool, we're exiting Earth's atmosphere.
An hour and
yeah.
it's an hour and 30 minutes.
We're at
yes,
108,000
that's good. Have
feet.
you considered how big is this planet and how big is its atmospheric bubble?
Your trait only covers you up to 20,000 feet.
It's a big mountain.
It fucking is.
Anyway,
Look,
Oh, bro,
Anyway.
don't
I
fuck
won't
about.
be able to do this in the future. There's going to be more crap math and crap spelling that I won't be able
Look,
to take
as
the piss
somebody
out
who
of.
also DMs regularly, sometimes you have to make shit up on the spot and you don't know!
yeah,
know, but it's brilliant.
personally, when I make a world, I don't sit there and calculate the size of mountains. But anyway,
Yeah, like a question I was genuinely asked, is there any birth control in this world? And my answer was yes, please do not ask me any more on this topic.
Pull out.
Make a dexterity saving throw when it comes to
Make a constitution saving throw.
Homosexuality is an option. It's one of the best birth controls.
It's not wrong.
Who has less kids than homosexuals?
Hey, so
Ask Laurie and Ash.
yeah, good point. Good point. Asexual.
Foiled again by magic.
Still being gay.
The antithesis
It's magic.
of
I ain't gotta
science.
explain shit.
I saw you're standing next to Grunt, who's had, who's
Alright, all the
two
magically
parts.
born go stand on that side of the elevator. I'm making a point over here while we all die of asphyxiation.
I'm asphyxiated,
Anyway,
but
Grunt,
you look out, and you are at a peak, and there's maybe you're at such a high point above everything that you do see nothing but clouds beneath you, and it's weird. At this high point, you begin seeing things that you're not sure whether or not they physically would be at this height. You see. Wait, what did you just say?
No, I could tell.
I can't get him. I'll get you in the future.
I
though.
could tell what he's going to ask.
If this episode didn't already have a name for it, I was going to say we should call it a gay atmosphere.
You want to know the worst part? You want to know the worst part? Things that aren't naturally at this height that you're not sure should physically or otherwise be here, like rainbows.
oh,
Carry
are we at the height where we, if we're lucky, we can actually see the whole rainbow in the full circle?
You see maybe 75% of it. Yeah, it is.
Wow. I didn't know
You
that
see
was-
75. Because you basically
Yeah.
just have a high point looking down at some of them.
Yeah, it's possible at certain elevations and with the right conditions to actually see the
I
whole
will
rainbow.
say- I will say as well, when you're inside, you do also see these small kits that when you like pick up and you examine or like you touch a button or two on them, wings extend out of them of a dwarven designed wing.
I ain't touching that thing with a 10-foot pole.
Neither am I. Fuck this.
Nazdo, check it out for us. You are the dwarf. You know, invented this racially.
You've got flying boots.
I don't need it then.
Actually, as a sailmaker, I will examine the construction. Because
The
I
quality
know
that is-
something about aerodynamics and wind
I
and shit.
question your math on this, Nazdo, simply because your
I will-
not
design
math,
is
tell you what,
horizontal.
I will say this. I will say you can make this check, and it's also based on the fact that you can tell whether or not these are still of sufficient quality to support the weight of the average
One,
person. And
one,
What
one,
terrible
one,
roll
one.
do I make that I'm going to fail?
Are we about to
I'd
go-
say
are we about to
I'd
go
say much
anyway?
like I'm about to say much like dwarven your stonework. You can also do a history check, but this is just going to be a straight roll.
We're about to go
Yeah.
hang aren't we?
Add your proficiency to it, though.
So stone cunning, but not advantage.
Yeah.
Wait, fuck it, game.
One.
Hey.
Yeah. Fuck
Whoa, look at that.
Woo!
Gives the
You
Make
tie
like
kick.
looking at you looking at yourself in heavy armor and judging by like the construction of this equipment, and Buckley, you looking over his shoulder, can agree. There isn't a person in this party you don't think that a single one of these gliders wouldn't be able to support the weight of, even.
it. Where are we going?
I mean, I thought up.
We're already pretty up.
Well,
need
the
to
thing,
go to the
the
office,
thing to, the thing to ascertain here is that dwarves had no more reason to get up. But if you had to evacuate the bottom, and you had nowhere to go but up, you might need a tool to get out of there.
To be fair, this is a pretty good way to go down. So let's leave them here. Who's good at remembering places? Because I'm not. Remember where this is, both of you.
I'm taking one.
I saw that.
Okay, you take one, Shimmer.
Just in
That's
case.
the thing I'm gonna ask. Is it
Strap one
collapsible?
on.
They collapse inward. So, like, say, it's basically like, think of like how a backpack is like the frame of. When you activate the right mechanisms, they spread out, and you can push them back in.
Could they be? Could they?
So
Small
do they
enough.
just basically look like poles?
They look like backpacks.
Or
Can,
okay.
oh,
They look like
can
backpacks that extend outward into wings.
can we shove them into the bag?
Depends on how heavy they are, because there's not a lot of room left in the bag of holding. It's
Well, I mean, I
pretty
presume they'd have.
Each one's
somewhere.
about 10 pounds.
full. Wouldn't risk it. I
Yeah.
can just picture Shimmer behind everyone while we're all looking as like where to go next. He's got the backpack and he's like, I'm a dragon.
Well, I mean, fuck it.
More levels I will be.
I'm a real
Yeah.
dragon.
I said fine.
I'm a real dragon, Mom!
Everyone grab one. It's not too heavy,
Alright.
and then
That's
we'll
a-
have a quick way off.
As I've kept going to say, Grunt
How heavy
is
is
just,
heavy?
sort of standing at this altitude, just taking a deep breath, and it's like, oh, first breath of fresh air she's had in years.
Yeah.
We're above the clouds. I'm pretty sure
Where
there's like
real
30%
air
air
is, and
here.
you don't. Where real air is, and you don't need to fear about your wasting a false breath or anything like that up here, where you could actually.
Well, the rest of us
Yeah.
are heaving
Like,
because
oh,
there's not enough
yeah.
oxygen.
Okay,
Yeah, much nicer. Too much oxygen down there. It's disgusting.
okay, I have a question.
Yes.
If I have Buckley create me a pipe, can I use the pipe like a rocket if I put a fireball in it?
Once.
Once. How heavy are these things if we're carrying them?
10 pounds.
Not bad.
I just picture Grunt stood on the top of the mountain, and because there's less oxygen in the air, she's like breathing in for like 30 minutes, just like, and then finally gets to the end and goes, ah, good lungful of air. And we all just stood watching like. Just keeps
He has,
going
the,
in and
he
in
has
and
the
in.
lung capacity.
Well, for
Good
those who
news,
don't
everyone,
know,
this isn't over my
I will
weight
say this.
capacity.
I will say this. One thing that is said in even our like real world is a lot of athletes do train at higher altitudes because it helps improve your lung. Because you have to breathe at poorer quality when you're above there, so when you're down here, you get more use out of it. Essentially, you're training yourself to run, and then all you have to do is jog.
Yeah, they have,
Fuck
they
running!
have like anaerobic chambers as well, where they purposefully like reduce the
Mhm.
Yeah.
oxygen in it.
That's why
The
the
reason
best
people
is like
like
Goliath
runners
are built
are
like rock.
fucking big They're big, they're tough, and they have the lungs of fucking gods.
And we'll put that on Alice.
This is why Goliath. This is why I don't make any noise when I sleep.
Yeah, no snoring. No issue with her lungs.
Cool. So
Anyway, I am going to do the commune with nature ritual while they're
What
doing
nature?
that.
We're in the fucking clouds.
Counts as
Exactly.
nature.
she's talking to the rocks. You should know about that.
Unless
I-
they're
I'm talking to the
moving
rocks. I'm
clouds.
talking to a bear.
I don't
Spirit
talk to
of the
rocks. I
bear.
shape them.
You kneel down and you begin focusing to commune with nature. And you're waiting for the vision to appear before you. And nobody else sees, but just on the edge of everything, of this cliffside, two talons to either side clamp down. Grunt, you see an enormous rock just looking right at you.
Dragon.
While nobody else sees this, you don't know if it's part of your communion or not. Ask your question.
Help.
All right. I will
Bird's like, well, go, bitch!
specific bodies of water, of course, being that's exactly what we're looking for.
Well, there are no... Well, there's... actually, yeah, that's a good point, because there's that point then now. There is a body of water, and, like, you just, like, feel your consciousness being dragged and aimed, and you can feel that there is a body of water on one of the nearer mountain peaks to you.
Influences from other planes of existence.
It's getting
All
windy
around
across the
you,
atmosphere.
all around you, at this high point, is just touches of celestial everywhere.
And I suppose buildings.
There is a single small hut on the mountain very close to where you got the ping for your body of water.
I thought we were going to say
Excellent.
there is one
I'll
mine shaft.
relay this.
Well, aside from the mine shaft behind you, which has already been indicated.
Are you familiar with the term elevator?
More like Heaven Vader.
And I say this
freaking
ability,
update.
this ability starts to shorten real quickly as it goes underground.
Yeah,
It
but there
doesn't
is
do
no
underground too.
underground issue. You 3 miles around you on all sides, you're getting your ping. And the thing is, it is 3 miles. Which within 3 miles, you get pings for your locations. It's just at altitude.
Does
And having finished the ritual, I'll look at the rock and just look at it like, what do you want? What you want?
What do you want, mate?
When you finish the ritual, the rock
Seed?
appears.
Okay.
That is some fancy commune thing. God, could have sent like sparrow, bald eagle, or something. No, instead of rock, bird messenger
Sup,
If you
bitch?
picks up and carries the
If you saw-
mountaintop away because it's easier.
I mean, if we're looking,
You looking for this? Just holding it in his talon.
if we're looking around, we can see a variety of peaks. Is there any particular peak which appears to be obviously higher than the other? I wish the curtain would stop doing that.
No, yeah, it's stop.
Nature's trying to commune with you.
Get fucked.
Don't put. We just bought those. Put that back in. We just bought
There's gonna
that.
get, mold is gonna get on those if you leave that out there.
Put it on top of the curtain.
Hang on, I know how to do this. Keep going.
Well, I kinda can't because technical difficulties.
You're useless.
Two angles of
Too much, you're gonna get sweaty.
Not time for that, love.
God damn it.
God damn, this way.
Ow! Fuck's sake, spook!
Finally get curtains and I have no idea how to use them.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah. And here we witness a murder.
Nah, just every day.
So, you look about, and Grunt, you turn, and the thing about this is, your peripheral you can eventually see to the horizon on all sides. Well, aside from the one behind you. And you look about and you do see, as you're looking, I want perception checks because it's a strong wind up here and there's also just very faint cloud about you. I want perception checks from Dell, from Grunt, and Buckley.
Is that based on passive
that's a,
perception?
Natural 13 there.
Dell. Grunt, I asked you for one too, so go on ahead. Make perception.
Crit that
Sorry,
shit.
just roll 20s. Yeah.
You don't have massive passive perception.
I mean, I have a passive
Sick.
22.
So, well, I'm making active rolls. So,
Yeah, I know.
Dell and Grunt. Buckley, you got wind in your eyes. You're looking about, and what you notice is, especially with Grunt after your roll, your commune with nature check, you do see that there are rainbows here, but it's not individual. It's not like just the one that is present and natural from the moisture in air. It's instead multiples from several peaks around you, from about 7 peaks, all of which seem to just traverse. And the thing is, like, you see one large rainbow, which you always do, but there's these fainter ones in the distances, dotting and touching onto Adele. You can really only see those, but Grunt, you see that there's a rainbow, and the thing is, it's like it's not. As you're seeing it, you're maybe 300 feet beneath the rainbow, and it goes all the way over to a mountain peak. Dell, you can see that there is a rainbow from each peak to that one.
Double rainbow.
Oh, damn it! I thought you get the joke.
What's on
like
rainbow?
going a
What does it
mile.
mean?
I'd certainly consider that to be a very obvious sign.
So,
Can you see any leprechauns?
following the rainbow?
Do you think not following the rainbow is what we need to do?
No, I'm just establishing is that what we're doing?
Follow my rainbow.
How?
Taste the rainbow.
We walk to it.
That could take ages.
We can glide to it, but I'm not sure we're on the. Okay, keep in mind, you're 150 pounds. I'm 300 at the minute. There's,
Anyone know any wind spells?
I think there's
No!
enough wind that won't be a problem.
I'm thinking, like, upwards. Isn't
I
there
think
some
the bigger
science about
problem would
heating
be
up and creating
making the
hot
wind
air
go-
pressure?
I mean, if you couldn't feel the wind that's blowing on us at the moment, it's already pretty windy.
Yeah, I more meant like control. I don't want the wind to all of a sudden go. Oh my God, this
Yeah,
is
that's a big.
Yeah, I can't control weather. I can control water. That's about
I
it.
feel like we should walk. It'll
Um,
take forever.
I mean,
Dell and Buckley, as you guys were all discussing, you hear a few small stones from above, and
I look up.
you see just a tuft of blonde hair duck back away from a small human.
So, yeah, walking's the option. Don't focus here! We're having a conversation!
Run signs, if you keep doing that, it won't be a problem for us, but when the avalanche happens, it'll be a problem for anyone below.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, saw that, yeah.
I'm gonna go see what that was.
You just rolled a 1 on stealth, so fuck you!
She's reliable talent, so it always goes back to a point. She
Bitch.
literally can't roll a 1. It's a reliable talent.
It's reliable, I can't
Yeah.
fail.
So Dell,
Sure you're
you
reliable.
pin yourself down to the wall, and you begin you see a very small bit of stones, and you begin stepping past them up. You don't have to physically pull yourself; it's just step by step, and you pull yourself up maybe about 30 feet, and you look over, and there's just a kid looking right at you, a young, about 8-year-old humanoid with
You're gonna get murdered.
blue tunic and brown pants with these very they're
Okay,
almost
you
like
worry.
the kid growing into their shoes, comical size, like a 10-year-old shoes, and he's with these long big bunny ear sews over them. He looks like he's got one of his front teeth are missing. Hello.
You are so getting murdered. Friday the 13th shit right here.
And it looks human. Is it
Looks
human?
human.
Human elf. It's not a dwarf or anything.
It looks like a
It
human.
looks like a human.
Where the fuck's Del gone?
Hello.
Yeah, because Stagey doesn't know. You're fucking.
How are you?
Nasta. Yeah.
Confused.
What brings you up here?
We're looking for something.
I might help. I know a lot of things. And he just like steps over towards you, just sits on the rock. And the thing is, one thing you're noticing as you're being buffeted, the kid's not being phased by the and just sits himself down next to you.
Out of character, I think this
I'm
guy's celestial.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, Del doesn't think that though. So she takes a step back because she's like, okay, this is weird.
Your kind of only step back is down because he literally spotted you as you're pulling yourself up.
Cool.
And now anyone else sees just a kid on a ledge, sat, not, his feet are inward and his back to you all, but he's talking.
Tough. Fuck.
A little green-eyed boy.
What are you
His
doing
skin is darker, like sun-kissed.
It's
I'm just
a
here.
mountain child. You ever heard of him?
Yeah, because that doesn't sound suspicious at all.
It's not. They're like they're kids that live up in the mountains and.
He just like swivels
What
on
the
his butt.
fuck?
He just sticks up his knees, swivels on his butt, and just has his hands on his chins, looking down at Nazdo as he's talking. He's funny.
Hammer out.
No offense, but I absolutely refuse to believe that some little
Gonna cast
kid is living by himself. on the
detect
top of a
evil and
mountain.
good.
Celestial.
Oh, guys,
Yeah, there it is.
he's celestial.
So we should murder him.
No, Dandy.
Grunt
Not
signed.
no.
Grunt signed as soon as she said I
Fucking
have a hard time.
Narrowin, stop it. Nemo.
It's alright. The grunt signed as soon as Del was saying I have a hard time imagining a kid living up on top of the mountain on his own. And Grunt's just signing, why not?
Problem is, you're signing, but she's looking at the kid, not at you. Nobody's looking at you. Everyone's looking up at this fucking kid.
Just hands coming in front of the nearest person's face.
What's a
Not
celestial?
here!
God, people.
Gods are not people. Gods are gods.
I explained it in the most simplest terms I could think for you.
They
Well,
can
I'm
be people.
gonna climb back down, so I'm with the rest of the party, and I just go over to Alistair and Buckley and just like, this is your guys' area.
Don't push him
As-
off a mountain.
Del, as you like step down and you put your hands to both of them and say, "This is your kind of thing." The kids next to you all, "What are you doing?"
Ah!
Yeah, that sounds about right. That's about right.
So what are you doing
So-
up here?
I don't like things that do that!
You know,
You do that!
And there we have it! Funny that!
that was a call out and a half.
Hey, if I had to list my character traits, it would be bitch, anxiety, and right there at number 3 is self-loathing.
As you say this, Del,
I'm just so glad that
as you say this, Del, and there's like this brief moment of gallows humor amongst everyone. The kid's like, "You shouldn't feel that way about yourself. That's not nice."
She's not nice.
No, she's fun to hang out with.
My
She doesn't
heart
talk
melted
much though.
slightly there.
I know, and then
From its old Kaisi.
yeah, and then it quickly refroze again when Shuma called me a fucking asshole.
So here's the thing: your heart does melt slightly at the notion of it, and it doesn't go cold.
Hey, kid, what's your name?
Kids nearly about your height, Nazo.
Hey, big child, what's your name?
What is a name?
Okay,
Oh,
oh, fuck.
those.
Oh.
Grunt sort of makes a laughing chuckle
How
noise.
may
and
we
then-
refer to you?
I'm just a boy.
Holy
Okay.
people, please sort this out.
I...
Are you god people?
Who?
Towards Alistair and Buckley. So you're like a god, like he said?
I mean, I'm pretty fucking
No,
godlike. Yeah, shut up, you!
No, keep going. Soon Alistair's ego will be big enough that we can float across the gap.
Okay, so we have boy. Where's Kratos?
That's not a bad idea, actually.
No!
Boy.
Do you know
Oh,
an
you want to
easy
get
way-
across the gap?
Yeah, do you know an easy way for us to get from peak to peak? Preferably.
Why do you want to get across the gap?
we want to get to the highest point there is,
Oh, do we? We want to get to a waterfall.
which is
Grunt
at the
goes up
highest
to
point there
this
is.
kid and signs to him. Does he seem to understand signing at all?
He seems to understand anything you say to him.
Excellent.
The thing is, as well, especially for like people with high passive insight, he definitely understands everything that's being said, and is playing, and he's not hiding it.
Grunt signs, they're not gods, they're children, and we're looking for rejuvenating waters.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. But we're going to have to play a game to get there.
Oh, fuck.
Fuck.
Language.
Just kill me now.
Game, you say?
We're unsure of his age.
I mean, you don't want to die.
No,
Grunt,
well...
Grunt sort of like, yeah, half of one, half a dozen of the
In
Kinda
Celeste
like
The
towards
tone of
Dell.
the conversation just went down a notch.
At this point...
And now, so as you say, like, and you go, as you do that, the kid just hugs you.
Ah!
It's too
I'm
pure.
uncomfortable in your tuggies.
It's too pure.
in Celestial, I'll say, "All right, let's play a game."
Would you like to play a game?
So you guys watch as like you're looking up, and to the rainbow you now see that there's a very wide, maybe 20-foot wide stairway that goes up, and it goes up and then curves into the stonework, up and then curves further, and it's basically just like appeared just in front of you. Nice. Nice. Yes, please do
Look
it.
at that bum.
Thank you. Thank you.
Smack it.
It's alright, I scared him off.
It sounds like it.
I slowly scared them off.
We were busy objectifying you.
Slowly scared them off.
Getting excuse to get more ash out.
Carry on.
So, the stairway up is basically it's 20 foot wide and it goes up 100 feet, and then it's into the mountain into like a very like well carved curve, up another set, and then into the mountain again, up another set, and there's the end of the rainbow at the top of it. And you just watch,
rainbow.
That's all
and you
well
just
and
watch
good,
the
but-
kid just like grabs his foot, you know, like behind him. Like, you know, he lifts up his knee from behind and grabs his foot, and he just starts going, hop, hop, hop,
Oh no!
tap, tap, tap,
This
tap.
is the opposite of what I'm good at.
Is this
You gotta-
athletics or acrobatics?
And the thing is, like, he doesn't just do that. Like, he goes from that to hop, like, you know, basically like a hopscotch. Up, do, 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 do,
No.
do.
Someone pay attention to his movements.
Yay, we're playing Simon Says. Kind of.
Oh, fuck
I
me,
mean-
silly.
Shimmer can fly.
You can fly.
I can fly. Grunt has the carpet.
I fall like a fucking boulder! Because I am!
I'm glad I'm one of us. Like
More of a cannonball.
I'm 300 pounds worth of muscle in
Alright,
5
well,
foot!
Since I have flying boots, I will go first in case something
I'm at the
happens.
opposite end of the spectrum. I fall like a leaf. I'm gonna go freaking 500 miles away.
Yeah, Del goes off the point and goes, whee!
I will attempt to follow in his footstep.
I mean, I have a glider,
Footstep,
but...
yes.
Make an intelligence check
Oh,
to
fuck.
follow his steps.
Don't fuck this up. No.
That's why I'm glad I
Um,
have the boots.
Alistair, after the first few steps, and you're looking up, you just look up and you're on your butt, and you're doing the thing down the stairs, boom, 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 back down to the ground.
Hey, Johnny,
He's
put that one
basically
falling down the stairs.
I'm gonna take a shot at it.
gone. Intelligence check then. if you're
Why
trying
is
to, like-
this intelligence?
Okay, so you guys watch as Shimmer, one, ha, da, and you guys are watching Shimmer now as you're going, da, 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 and it goes up for quite a while. So some of you can begin following him as you go.
I would like to get on, just crawl up the stairs and like...
As you begin trying to crawl up the stairs, you begin sliding back down on your bum. Boop, boop,
Ah!
boop,
I tried going up.
I think you have to follow.
Yeah, I'll give it a
as the
crack.
game.
Intelligence check with advantage for anyone who's following Shimmer.
Oh, fuck
Ah.
me, silly.
Roll again.
Wow.
Okay.
Grunt knows how to play this game.
Okay, 15.
Hey, Narwin?
Yeah.
Remember that storm that came through?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting it now.
Weather.
Del, are you the one that didn't roll yet? Okay, DC was 15.
Oh my God.
So, and the thing is like, as you're going, you can't help but start, as the child's going, he's making a little hum to himself in common. You can't help, even Del can't help, as you're going up. It's almost like it's almost, the thing is, Nazdo, you would think like, I shouldn't be like this. I should be like, meh, but you're actually enjoying it.
That's even
I'm
creepier.
still heavy and jumping on top of the fucking world.
I wonder what it's
I
like
like
when
it.
a rainbow breaks.
As you
Yeah, but
guys,
wait for the rainbow carry.
who knows? As you guys made your way up, and everyone but Alistair, who failed their first attempt, you all get a D6 inspiration dice. And he just like does a little stretch out his legs, hands out into the air like when he's up.
There's
The complete opposite of your characters.
Yeah.
Kirok,
We're
Sarah, shut
We're
the fuck
standing
up.
on top of a mountain, presumably you're in broad daylight, about to walk across a rainbow, and then you look over at Del. Black!
He
So,
bought the goth.
we're on top of the
I'm
world,
getting
sitting on a rainbow.
sunburned.
Not yet. No,
That's
you're
your
up
amount
the
of
first
fear.
set. You're up the first set of 3 steps.
I'm
Oh,
getting
it's the
sunburned.
first set of 3. Oh no.
Yeah. So it's 100 feet up this one, then 100 feet was up the next one, and then 100 feet up the next.
Who's got? Please, someone give me alcohol. I can't.
As you like say you want to
Sandy,
drink,
or Nazdo, this is what I will give you. I'll enhance abilities, Nazdo.
Please.
as you guys are all like getting up there, and now you're like, I want to drink. You all just find like underneath you, your legs go out from under you as there's a chair there, and you all just all begin sliding around. And there's a small, colorful table in a circle. A little tea set is set up and everything as the kids sit.
Nope.
I will.
Del, back in.
That's not what I
I'll
meant.
tap on Nazdo and then give him Fox's Cunning. The target has advantage on intelligence checks.
That's not going to help. I need like +2.
I drink the tea.
Hey,
Yeah,
Buckley, why don't you cast Give Book?
So as you guys are sat down, the kid begins like taking the teapot and he just pours it out, and there's nothing coming out, but you can hear the sloshing of liquid.
Oh no.
This is all a dream.
It's an imaginary.
So
Grunt will
drink.
play. Grunt will play along. She'll take a.
I'll drink.
She'll take a cup.
Do you put
And
your pinkies
Pinky's
out?
Yeah, Grunt
Pinky
puts
out, of
Pinky's
course,
out.
yes.
You guys just watch as Buckley and Grunt just like pick up their teacups. Oh wait, no, milk and sugar. Hang on. And he just like takes a
Sorry.
small thing, a little bit, mix, and a little bit of sugar into each, and you both sip, and you begin tasting.
Grunt signs 12 sugars for me.
Damn, you
No, that's too much. That's too bad for your heart. No. You get
Right.
one, and a
Right.
biscuit.
I raise it up and I think of beer.
Oh, biscuit. Yeah, I drink the
The
tea.
kid hands you out the small biscuit, and like it's not there, but you reach and you touch it, and then as you grab it, there is a biscuit in your hand. It is a little cookie with chocolate chips in it.
Lovely.
It's all a dream. It's a bad dream. I'm gonna wake up in a dwarven fortress,
I think I
be
had
on
more
the
fun with
fucking
Final
ground, and not make
I did.
intelligence
I
saving
had more
throws.
fun when you fell off the mountain.
God.
As you guys are all just sat around having this, to varying levels of willingness. Del,
Turn down food.
Del, do you agree and like start doing these things?
What do you think? Do you you
Everyone
think
has to drink their tea.
Do you think she is going to eat the food and drink offered to her by this strange being?
No,
Exactly.
absolutely not. Well,
The grunt sides
if you're not willing to play the game, then you're going to have to go back.
Please.
Thank you, Del.
I also
Those
remind
are
you.
the rules.
No, may I also remind you, this
Mm.
boy is a celestial, so he's not going to try killing us with this.
I'm
Yeah.
physically shaking.
There's a lot of sugar in your
Mm.
tea.
Grunt signs, you'll have to forgive her. She's
God.
she
Not hungry.
she's
She's a
always like that. She
bitch!
never. I always
Del?
have trouble trying to get.
Now, as you're like not happy and like Buckley is saying this, you just see the child, the boy, is just looking straight at you. After a long minute, she's excused from playing, and he just like gets up from his seat and walks over to you and just hugs. She's excused from playing,
I want to hug.
and then he
too.
just pokes your nose, Alistair, and you still have to drink. Before he walks back over to Nas and gives him another hug.
I'm scared.
Oh, hug, but I don't want to do that.
I'm in a mountain and there's a child. No,
You're very
I-
observant, Mr. Dwarf.
Grunt sort of pats his head.
We go.
So up the next flight of stairs, you guys have an interaction of. Okay, so the game is Corellian and Grum.
What?
I don't like this game.
It's alright, none of us are
When
wrong.
I say Corellian says, you have to do it. When I
Oh,
say Grum says, you have to do the opposite.
oh fuck.
Alright.
I'm bad at
Just tell
instructions.
Nuzza to get left or right, he's screwed.
Goliath like competitions. Games are fun.
Oh god.
Ah,
Okay, so
Carillion
if
says
I
bad
say
friends.
if I say take a step forward, you don't do anything. If I say Corellian says take a step forward, you take a step forward. If I say Grummash says take 5 steps forward, you take 5 steps back.
How
I'm
close to the
going
edge
to
are we?
die. I'm going to die to a Celestian child giving me orders.
Grunt gives the thumbs up. She's good to go.
So, who wants to make? Everyone has to make a wisdom check
Oh.
to follow instructions.
Yes!
Wisdom's slightly better for me, so.
I shall make.
Come the window.
Grunt likes
That's a
games.
good roll for me.
All for these games.
I like these
Gol-
games, but I hate.
Read the book. Goliath like competition.
So
You
the
just
first person who manages to get every single instruction right and get to the top first is Grunt, followed then by Alistair and then by Shimmer. It takes Nosdo is the next one up, who's just like I just wanna.
I'm
He eventually gets
terrified.
up. Then Delmara is the one that gets up because it's whenever you fail an instruction, you stop, and you have to do the next one. So you're a little bit delayed. So even though he's like at a very high point away from you guys, as it takes both you and Buckley the longest to get up, just follow my voice, and you just do your steps up, 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 and it takes you the longest. It takes Grunt 5 minutes. It takes you guys 15 to get up.
It's simple instructions. How are you having so much difficulty? Oh, never mind.
I was always
Help
following
me!
And as you guys are up at the top, at this another point, there's another set of stairs. He goes, okay. Now. And he just like walks over to a corner, covers his eyes.
Ow.
1, 2.
I run! I fucking run! I bolt it!
Where do you bolt?
I'm gone! I'm fucking gone!
Where do you bolt to, Nazo?
Sorry?
Where do you bolt to?
Is there more stairs?
Yes.
I bolt up the fucking stairs!
As you try to bolt up the stairs on your butt, boom, 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 back down to this level.
Ah!
8.
I fabricated a blanket for me to hide under.
Good. Make a stealth check with advantage.
Yes!
I cover my face!
Nazo, you hide behind your shield.
15.
Everyone make a stealth check. It's a
Gonna
straight
hide
roll.
behind the stairs.
It's a straight roll for everyone who is in heavy armor, and also it's with Buckley. You have. Do you have? Actually, no. You have it with advantage. You have an advantage anyway because of what he's doing with you. Del, you're just you.
I have supreme sneak.
Yeah, everyone else has advantage on this check. So everyone roll. Everyone describe to me what you're doing to help. How are you hiding yourself? How are you being creative?
Shield.
I'm gonna hide behind the stairs.
So like you go down 1 or 2 steps and you just like duck
Are we
low.
literally just like on a flat
Oh,
plateau?
fuck!
More. There are some stones about, but yes, like some maybe 5 to 10 foot high stones about, but yes.
Not Grunt's specialty, but she does know basic hunting stealth, so she.
Grunt just like
There's,
turns, faces a wall, and covers her hands and sprays it across it, and hopes her skin matches the color.
I
No,
duck.
she stands downwind and she goes down low into the snow.
I
There
duck
isn't
and
snow up here. Is the thing. You're at such a high point there actually isn't snow at this height.
Well, then I'll just get down low and look like a rock, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you
I
just like
duck.
curl yourself up and look like a star. Buckley, you have a blanket.
I'm covered by a cardboard box.
You have your shield. Alistair, how do you try to hide yourself?
I take my cloak off and I prop it up somewhere to make it look like a decoy. and then
Okay.
I hide the underside of him.
Okay, and the thing is, what you notice is when you like take things off and you like use them to hide, like your blanket or your cloak, they don't blow away. Nothing blows at this point. Like this is a very, very calm-winded point at this like particular. And like it goes
Mazda has no power.
20.
Also, the
Ready or not,
blanket
I
is stone colored.
Yeah, basically. So he just like flips in the point and just like looks around. Now where's everybody gone?
I rolled 2 1s.
And he proceeds to make his way around. And first one he finds is Buckley. Found you!
Damn it!
That was good. You made a blanket. That's really clever. I like that one. That's really good.
It was
would
like
really
to
not big enough to
Thanks.
cover it.
It's just too
Yeah.
It was a tea towel.
Oh my god, no! You know what it's like? It's like a toddler hiding behind a curtain and their feet are dangling out.
Yeah, that's basically the idea.
Ah, fuck!
I would like to note Grunt did have the sense to stand downwind. She
Yes.
does.
And the thing is, as well, you all had an inspiration dice that you used.
I'm saving that shit.
I'm saving that shit.
So you guys continue, and Nazdo, as you're like, I'm invisible. You like try to peek your way around, and this is just face.
Ah! Oh, hang on! I know how to do this! Let me win! I have an Irish flag!
Well, the Celestial, who has no idea what those colors are, goes, that's pretty.
Shit!
And just boops your nose.
Ah!
He then finds. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Although it's meant to be called Virgin Media, apparently it really knows how to fuck you. Sorry for the technical difficulty, but we are now back to our Dungeons and Dragons game, where a celestial child is making a bunch of powerful adventurers play games with it. So the hide and seek was being played out, and Shimmer had just been found at the stairs. After Shimmer was found at the stairs, he then made his way over, and this maybe happened in the same minute. He finds then Grunt at the end of the minute. It takes him 3 minutes after that then to find Alistair.
I'm following behind him.
Yeah, you're just walking behind him the whole time. And then after another 5 minutes after finding you, he then finds Dumb.
Fair enough.
And you all are gathered towards the end of the stairs. He's like, okay. Everyone has to wear a cloak. And he just takes out, he looks like he's reaching in his pocket, and he's just holding something, and he just walks up to the first person, which is Grunt, and just opens up his hands as if he's trying to put something on you, but you'd have to get down for his height.
Okay.
Are you there, Grunt?
But what color?
Sorry, cut out for a second there. What'd you say?
He reaches into his pocket and is like, everyone must wear a cloak. And he walks over towards you and just has his hands extended out as if he's holding a cloak, but there's nothing. But he can't reach it to put it on.
I kneel down.
kneels down. Then he lies.
As you kneel down, and he like flings the cloak over you and just like tightens it around you and just pulls it around you. No, there is nothing there, but you feel the warmth of like a heavy, soft cloak on you, and he basically makes his way around to everyone. Does anyone say no to getting a cloak?
I think at this point, we're probably sensible just to go along with it, even if it feels weird.
This is gonna kill us.
I mean, I do technically already have a cloak.
So do I.
Double cloak.
Mine is semi-waterproof. I
Mine
lather it with goose fat.
Mine blurs me.
We're not dead already.
No, not yet.
What?
And like as the kid puts the final cloak on like Stanji and Asdo,
Again, they're the same.
Where does the bleed end, Teja? He begins making his way up the stairs, and as he does, and like, oh wait, and he takes out, like he reaches in again and pulls the cloak over himself, and as he does, you begin seeing underneath, you just see light, as if like from where it is down, you just see pure radiant light. You don't see his body anymore aside from his head as he just walks up.
I get the feeling this kid is more than he's let on.
We've already learned he's a celestial.
No, I mean like more than that.
So we now have cloaks of Delmara. Gotcha.
No. Didn't you hear? They're light!
Grunt, you step up first,
Yeah,
probably the
and you
kid,
are
as I picture
light.
you do.
Wait.
And as you step up, everyone around Grunt, you can just see all the scars she's accumulated in her life are just evident on her body, all around her, underneath her clothes or otherwise. Scars are evident.
Ton of scars.
Yes, there is a shit ton of scars.
The cloak of Arameld.
The biggest one on the heart.
I follow suit.
Actually, yes. What happens is, Grunt, your biggest, you just like all of you guys can see like this like red glow around Grunt's chest, and that's where it seems like it's most evident. Nazdo, you step up, and not your like where your heart is, but like
My
between your
liver.
heart, between your heart and your like brain, like it's like an intermingle like point at the top area there, and your greatest thing is into your pride and into your from things that have happened to you.
There's a little boat.
Oh.
Choo choo.
I
Red's
follow
in the
that.
shape of boy.
All of your Buckley, all of your worst emotional or physical scars are made apparent. Alistair,
Cool.
you have a hole in your chest,
Still.
and you have the evident marks as if you've fallen from height. You've been bludgeoned across the face, cut across the throat, or your eyes have been sore.
Okay, the occasional nick.
As this is going, and Shimmer, you step up. You go into your true from your head down to your neck is golden dragonborn. After that is all black.
We've been over this.
We looked at the front cover of the book, and that counts.
And eventually, Del, you're the last one to step up.
She's just not there.
I don't wanna.
I get a rope, lasso her, and start pulling her up.
Do you actually?
No.
You just hear the kids singing on "Everybody's got pains, but your friends naked." Everyone
Hurry
is
up! I'm
hurt, but
fucking
you can get
scared!
help.
The only ways forward is either this way or over the edge, so pick your poison at this point, Dan.
Yeah, Alistair, you're the only one who's like not. Yeah, Alistair, you're the only one who's not like immediately followed up. Grunt's the only one who has like Grunt, Buckley, and everyone else has begun following up. Alistair and Del, you're the only two like at the very end, right? Alistair already atop the first few steps.
Come with me.
Be
And you'll be
in a world of pure
Pure emotional.
emotional pain.
I'm honestly waiting for her to start walking up and just crumble just sitting on her chest.
Well, yeah, eventually she will have to cave and take
Be
a
crumble
step
on
forward.
her shoulders.
Eventually
when
she will
Del-
have to step forward.
When she eventually steps forward, hey Del, I can't even keep track. How many scars you have?
I mean,
11d6.
I mean, it is genuinely hard to keep track because a lot of them overlap and overlay on each other, so it's kind of actually impossible to count.
Alistair, you're looking at her, and you've seen the others and their scars as they've gone. Her mind, you can just see like there's 2 red points at her temples and over her head and into her brain, all the way on her back, and her back is entirely red.
It's like a cheese
It's entirely
grater.
like an inch of it. There's a hole in her hand, her left hand. Her stomach is just knotted, and her heart is very heavily reddened as well as her feet, which look like they are in a... Feet shouldn't move that way.
Basically, it's like red. It's all red. There's not really anywhere that doesn't.
She has no skin.
You should roll a natural 20 on that epic backstory chart. Show us on the doll where he touched you.
Everywhere.
I mean, pretty much, yeah. Broken arms, broken legs, broken ribs. It's a mess.
Several indications that several ribs have been broken multiple times.
Wait, why was mine the mind and the heart?
Because your pride's been the most fucked out of anything with you.
And you're still single. And you're over 200.
Exactly. Delmara has been heavily marred, body, mind, and soul.
Oh, why you keep looking at me?
Because you're the only one who's physically here.
Yeah, everyone else is about 50 feet up.
Everybody else has gone into heaven.
Oh shit, we should have seen that one coming.
Yeah.
Next week, I'll need all your new characters. You'll arrive in Duskhaven as level 1s.
You do not
I'm
want
fine
a
with this.
character from me, trust me.
Basta.
Starts rolling a Warforged.
I make wagons.
Ivan.
So, Del,
The sad thing
Ivan
is
the
that there
Cupmaker.
is literally one thing on here which was actually one of there's a big gash like here, which is from when Grunt fucking impaled her on a hook, and then you threw both of us in the ocean.
Technically, I only threw grunts in the ocean. You just followed suit.
Good job. Why? I'm not gonna question.
That's the
Ghost
only,
Possession.
that's the only one that's different from all the others.
Yeah.
But it's like, because it's a fucking humongous fish hook, it's pretty big, and it's also the most recent.
The thing is like, while there isn't like a physical like display of like on anyone, there isn't like a thing of nudity, but you do see like the silhouette of people. It's only now, Alistair, looking at her, that you get an idea of just how malnourished Del keeps herself.
Should have
Like-
worn more armor.
You do see ribs. You see ribs from the other side.
I noted.
And before Grunt feels her.
Heavy breathing. So what happens when we get to the top?
You make your way up? Yeah. I'm waiting for confirmation for both of you. I'm only getting one confirmation.
I don't like it. Yeah, I guess eventually I'm gonna have to.
I was going to say, because if you're going to drag this out any longer, I'm going to add to the amount of bruises that are on your body and carry your fucking ass up the stairs. Move!
You
God,
say that in
Fine, I
character.
go.
No!
I go, yes, I go.
You guys walk up together behind the party.
Or walk up
Hey.
or get thrown off. Too long!
Together is very loosely.
The thing is, if the more like separate you guys walk, the harder you find it. Like physically to make your way up, but whenever you guys move together, it's easier. The entire group walked up together without a body. Trying to walk alone up this, it feels like you essentially begin having more and more weight put on you.
It's like walking into Tom.
So in other words, we don't need you.
Wow.
All in this together. Oh, suck me off.
That would only add to this.
You eventually step up your hallway. You get to the top of the stairs with the bridge across. And when you get up, your cloaks flick off and fly off into as does its.
Sorry, it's windy up here.
It's okay. Everyone needs to take some of this. And he just like goes over to a small like dish. And just like picks up some stuff in his hands. And he just walks around and just gives each one of you a seed. One for you.
Oh, we're getting poisoned
One for
now.
you. One for you.
You should be alright with
One. For
Oh
you.
yeah, Kool-Aid.
No, don't eat.
that.
Oh, I was about to say
I'm
I
not actually eating it. I'm not actually eating it.
I don't want to be a druid.
Grunt's instinct was to eat it immediately.
Please don't eat it.
Put up nose.
And he just puts the dish back down. And takes out one seed for himself. And just as he begins walking towards the bridge, he just like has it out like in his fingertips up into the air. You just see a bird, an enormous rock swoop in, take the seed from his fingers,
Stop
and zip off.
it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop
In
it!
a literal impossibly like size feat of like there's no way it should have been able to grab it, but did.
I cry and raise my hand with the fucking seed
Yeah.
in it.
The kid
Grunt
begins
does the
making his way across.
Yeah, do the same.
Yeah, I guess we'll do the same as well.
What's everyone's alignment?
Thing.
Don't give a shit. Alignment.
Lawful neutral.
Who's evil? Go on, Dal.
I'm not evil.
Uh,
Chaotic.
True
By the
neutral.
way,
Which
you
shimmer?
haven't Kaylin, you haven't changed back yet.
With shimmer.
You're actually full Kaylin right now. You're not even punching.
I am
Oh, no.
pretty sure Kaylin is neutral evil or lawful evil.
Oh god damn it.
Oh, seriously, the only good character here.
Kaylin, as you try to step across, actually, you're neutral good down on your rating.
I am?
Yeah.
I just thought I had to. No, well, I'm neutral good then, whatever.
Just changed it. Nalsto, you're the only one. Let's see. I think Grunt as well. Grunt, are you neutral?
The
Yeah, I'm
the
sure
idea
neutral.
was for Kaylin
Yeah.
to be evil, but
You didn't change it, so it's on you.
Yeah.
Nazdo and Grunt, it takes you twice as long. Like, you feel like everyone else seems to be making a way across at a pace, but you two are taking, like, it literally takes you twice as long to get across. The little kids, bear in mind, the rainbow itself is like, it's weird. It has this very solid thing to it, but it's also got like a softness, like you're stepping on grass. And he's just got his hands out. It's maybe like 15 feet wide, and he's got his hands up. As he
I
makes
never
his way
thought
across.
neutrality would bite me in the ass.
Unless vengeful
Chaotic
neutral is a
dudes, man.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
sitting on the
basically,
fence
if
just
you're not
curious
good,
to track.
takes you half as long. Takes twice as long to get.
What if you're evil?
Take me twice as long as well.
Then you fall.
I'm
No, you're
lawful
neutral good. You have to have you have to have a good alignment in you for it to be a normal movement speed. It's neutral. You have an issue. Takes you a bit longer if you're lawful, true, or chaotic neutral. Evil, well,
Yeah.
Don't
lawful
fall off the
neutral,
rainbow
so.
road.
ain't no fucking turtle and a cloud to save your ass here, boys.
It's okay, I have a glider.
You guys, it takes you a while to get across, and it's weird. It's like you're not like slowed. It just feels like the bridge is longer for you and for Grunt. Not
Taste the rainbow.
And me.
no, you're fine because you're neutral good.
No, he's lawful neutral.
I
I'm
thought you
lawful
were-
neutral.
Oh, you're lawful neutral. Yeah, you're with them. Sorry, I thought you were neutral good. I thought you said my mistake. Sorry.
News.
There's very few good people in this party.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, I'm one of them.
Yes, that's disconcerting.
Mm. I had to check it.
How
What
many
the fuck
times
is
do we
it?
have to say we're not good people?
I'm good!
as an average.
I'm better
Um,
than you fuckers.
That's a good point. It's pretty much just Alistair and Shimmer then that are
Yes.
good line.
Yeah.
So yeah, everyone
else is
aside
neutral.
from you two, it's aside from you two get across. You follow the kid. Everyone else is at like half pace behind you the whole time.
I look back. You know, we don't have all day.
Fuck you!
Going as fast as we can.
This is scary!
This is the final
Oh.
challenge, though. So the sooner you get across, the sooner we can tick this off our to-do list.
Oh wait, oh no, I can't change my alignment.
I just
No,
keep
you can't just change your alignment.
No.
There is a ceremony
Spell.
for it. There's a
Yeah,
cantrip for it. There's like a first level spell for it. It also involves allowing you to get Mawied and other things.
Oh yeah, one of the things that you can do is repent, which literally changes your alignment to good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So them two are walking across slowly. Buckley's having an existential crisis on his knees.
It's like Triplabs' character.
It is one of the few spells that I think actually has a casting time of like an hour. It is a full full thing.
It is a long ass, big ass ritual.
I'm gonna plod along and help the others move along as best I
How
can.
do you guys walk across?
Crawl on my all fours, I'm shitting myself.
I guess a slightly cautious pace, really, because it's like it's a fucking rainbow. So I'm not just gonna go skipping across it.
Seeing as I'm doing
So-
pretty well, I'm going to have quite a brisk.
I'm
just
not.
kind of
I'm
like,
not worried about it myself, but I'll keep encouraging.
Grunt, you're
the
keeping an eye on, and you're encouraging others to make their way across. Everyone else around, like Grunt, when she's doing
I
it, you
walk
feel
very-
very assured of her.
Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me.
And eventually, like, you guys watch as the kid gets to a point, and there's like you see it from the far side first. It's like a ripple. It goes over the kid, goes over you guys, goes over everyone else, and it's this moment where you feel like it's like have you ever seen like a drape or a carpet get whipped and you have that moment of whoa, and as you do, it goes straight at the end of your group, like as if at an angle, and you all begin sliding
Ah!
No, 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 no,
Towards the
no,
kid
no.
or away
towards
from
the kid, towards the
Okay.
kid. And the kid's in the front like.
Ah!
Ah!
Stand up ever so slightly, so slide epically. I'm going to have the coolest arrival.
And as you slide your way down, scooting on your butts, the wind
My
stops.
brand new armor.
The thing is like it was almost like you were sliding down on a literal, like, you know, carpet or a cloak or a drape or something that got pulled out and you just boom, down the long.
Oh god,
like
the
a
back of
fabric
me will
feeling.
be really shiny then.
It's a hard it's a hard light bridge, like in Portal. No,
Like a
please
belt
use rub
polisher.
your face against the hard light bridge. Your hair may catch fire.
You slide your way down to begin hearing the sound of the water. And the kid just like gets himself up and dusts himself. You guys are fun to play games. So what brings you here?
Do we ever catch his name or?
It doesn't have a name.
His name is Boy.
Okay.
Yeah. As he's saying this, he's like hopping on stones that are like right next to the edge, almost like like you know, like a short cobblestone wall, and he's just hopping along it as he goes.
That's boy as in B-O-Y or B-O-I?
You don't know.
Boy!
Do, do,
So
do.
what did we say we see in front of us?
As you land down and you look about, dust like it was kicked up as you all fell. You look about and there's, as you all land mostly in a pile. The dust settles and you look about and there's just like a small cobblestone wall, maybe 3 feet high, around the entire exterior of this from your point. It's like a large semicircle space. and you can look up and you just see water pouring down and past a point, like, you know, there's stones between you and where it lands. You see water pouring from the heavens. It just seems like it's coming from above.
Someone answered the child's question before it kills us all!
Yeah, that matches the description.
I
There's
think
a
we were
small
looking
hut.
for this.
There's a small hut. It's made of what looks like it's wood, but it's a material it's a type or like interior design of wood. Like, you know, you can usually spot the difference between oak and things like that. It's a wood you've not seen before. And there's a small smoke column coming out of the chimney. So why are you
It's
looking?
made of chocolate.
It's not a gingerbread.
Is it
house.
stalinium?
Ah, duh.
And as like you see him like off in the distance, and you just say that, and he's just then next to you in the next second. So why are you looking?
Ah! You'll answer your questions! And I'll point to Ali.
Mr. Alley?
What was the specific reason why we were sent this time? Because I know there was a few reasons we wanted to come here,
Hang
but
on.
we actually did get sent here by Merok, and it was for Bretzl.
We were sent here to get a
We were
cup
sent-
of water
we
or
were
whatever
sent-
it is.
We were sent to get healing water to remove
The curse.
a
from Bretzl.
yeah, like this weird demonic plague thing that's infecting Bretok,
Okay,
a silver dragon.
I knew we definitely got sent here. That was the one we came for. Okay, we've
People need healing. Water's good.
Well, that
take
one
a
is very good for healing.
come to take a sample of water back, if possible.
Take it away. Why? Why couldn't the person come here? And the kid's not like looking at you curious. He's like just like playing and hopping about. Like he seems like almost like the topic itself he doesn't really mind. He's just
They were too ill.
Yeah, the person that needed to come here was too ill to make the journey, and especially too ill to play the games to get here.
I
could
think
have
she would have
carried.
had fun.
Probably. Hey, maybe when she's better, she can come up and get the next set.
Yeah, on the round. I ain't coming.
Mom, but Mr. Nasto, it was so much fun.
He prefers to keep his feet firmly planted underground.
But you've been on ground the whole time. That was
I-
for the bridge.
Rainbow.
It's a pretty rainbow, isn't it?
Existential crisis.
Repent.
Oh, those.
Realized. Not Nazdo was our leprechaun on the rainbow. He had a bunch of gold on him. He's short. He's got a beard.
Ginger.
Yeah, it works out.
Speaks of an accent. Looks about to all of you. Hang on, I need to go ask. And he just like steps inside the house.
Oh, I want to run.
Oh.
Oh, I want to run away. Oh, I want to run away.
And he's in the house for over an hour.
Definitely in that meantime I would have emptied my water skin out and gone over and filled it up.
Really? You're just gonna go do it?
That's what we came for. Is there any reason why we shouldn't?
I mean, it's heavily.
one we should probably be given permission
just,
to.
It was literally just implied that he has to go ask permission of somebody.
Yeah.
Wasn't directly said.
It was very obvious.
It was very directly said.
It didn't
I
say
mean,
I
that. Tell him
agree
to
with
not
He
Alice.
drink.
said he had to go ask.
He said he was gonna go ask. We've come this
I-
far.
Yeah, if people go
We've
to
played
move
his
towards
games
the water, I
this
just
far.
put a head-
Now's not the time to try cheating.
It's not a game anymore. It's life or death, and I
Technically,
choose
we
death
beat
at
the
this
guy.
Not
point.
really. Not really Nazdo. It's not life and
He's
death at
he's
all.
gone to ask.
Grunt science to Nazdo, the best games are life and
Yeah, when you get to hit something, not something fucking puts you on the rainbow.
I'm gonna go and like look at the water. Like, does this look
It
obvious?
looks when you look into it, it's pretty much like there's almost like there's stars in it in regards. You know, like the water sparkle, like the anime water sparkle.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful. It's almost like there are 1,000 coins at the bottom of like a very shallow 5-foot thing that just trails off at a point.
It's water that said to heal all wounds. You know, a little bit curious.
But it could be a thing of by asking for permission that it actually do its work. Otherwise, if not given permission, it probably will kill you.
God's turn.
Because that's how holy things tend to work.
That's a fair point. I think Galgron managed to drink some the first time.
Permission for us to take it.
Do you guys wait the hour?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
we'll,
insist they wait the hour, even if they try not to.
yeah, we'll wait.
Someone give me alcohol.
As the hour passes, the door opens. You just hear the little clapping of hands as the boy comes out. They did it! They did it! They did it!
Blah blah blah. I told you so. Blah 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 blah.
As a figure steps out, you see like an old wrinkled hand on the door pull themselves out. You see
Baba
an
Yaga.
older gentleman with a large cane, cane that they're like walking across with very simple peasant robe, stepping out towards all of
Jesus.
you. No, very think like
Moses.
think like Gandalf the White if it was Christopher Lee levels of old as balls.
Okay.
Buddha.
Gandalf the Beige.
Yeah.
Gandalf the old as fuck. He just steps out and looks towards all of you. Hello.
Goodbye. And I
Hello.
hide behind Grunt.
A wonderful young assorted people. And just
I can
begins-
stay a while and listen.
Hey.
Grunt waves. Just waves a friendly hello.
He just like comes up, smiles, and just offers a hand out to shake yours. Grunt.
She shakes his hand.
Very gentle.
Yeah.
With his handshake.
Ah, shit.
So is Grunt, surprisingly. She has nothing to prove. She doesn't do the whole have to crush somebody's hand.
I'm not. She doesn't try to do the Trump thing and get crushed by the Canadian Prime Minister's hand. Like, bitch, deathlock.
No.
No, it's just a soft
Meanwhile, if it was her family, she would, she wouldn't be shaking hands. She would be headbutting as a
headbutting.
greeting.
Yeah. So, my young friends, I was told you're here to heal somebody who's quite unwell. Could you please tell me who? As he just like begins walking over towards the water.
I tell him
Say again.
the truth in that it is Bratak, the Silver Dragon. Or she's Silver Dragon.
She's silver, yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like.
Whew!
I'm
I'm
trying to
glad I
imagine
remember.
This guy's probably not the best thing in the world today.
Yeah.
Oh, you
There-
think?
there's no fucking point in lying. Oh, it's for my friend Al. He's very sick.
Of course, I'm
Like-
not going to believe that. I'm here.
Oh no, not this Al. For now.
The other one.
Other Al.
He just watches. He's just got like his hands over the cane, and he's like very hunched. Maybe his normal height's probably about like 5'8", but he's hunched down to about 5'5". Like he's just so crotchety over, and it does take him like quite a while to walk. Why does she need it?
Cause she dying.
No.
No, we don't think she's dying.
Cause she not dying, but she not well.
How do we describe it?
I don't really know.
The
I
thing
just
is, though,
said-
just to point out for you guys, when Nasa says she's dying, he did like raise an eyebrow, but it was when Nasa corrected himself. Well, I don't know if she is or isn't. Like it wasn't a case of him going bullshit. It was a case of him going, you don't know whether or not she is or isn't. What you're
Nazgul
thinking.
doesn't even know whether she is or isn't.
I don't even know she's a dragon at this point. I'm scared.
You just watch as he like steps up towards you, Nazdo, and just like puts like a small hand to your cheek, and you just feel your entire body just relaxes and calms. You let it.
Oh, he drugged me. He drugged me. He drugged me.
He cast calm emotion on you. Probably.
No, it was
Or
paralyzed.
that idea.
touch.
It was chloroform. Oh, God.
Same thing though.
Yeah, right?
I just gave
As
him
you
some
guys-
sleepy juice.
As Buckley points it out, he does like give a very small smirk towards you before moving back towards the side of the water. A chair appears behind him. He just
She's not dying, but we feel that she's being
We have-
possessed in some way.
Yeah.
But we've no real way to ascertain how or what the symptoms are. All we know is that she's not the same person that she was.
I mean, we
When
can
they were
see
first
signs of it in her eyes. Very, very, very slight.
Wait.
Just watches he just closes his eyes and blinks for like a little bit, and just it's almost like he's the old man who's dozed off as he just sat there, and he sits there for maybe 5 minutes. And you guys can keep talking while you do this.
Who was the one that tried to replicate this shit? And why?
We have suspicions that Galgron may have taken some to put in his own reservoir, but we don't actually have any proof of that.
Oh, was he also under the same influence, if you will?
Well, we've reason to believe that he's been here before.
Yeah, based off of what we know of his healing, he has a pool of healing water that he uses, so we assume it is this water. In fact, no, we've been told. I think
I'm
we've
pretty sure we were told that
we
he
were-
drank from this before.
Yeah,
And
we've
that's the
been-
reason. That was part of the reason.
Yeah,
as to
we've
why
been-
he's now being cursed.
Yeah, let me find it. I'm pretty sure the Brass Dragon actually explicitly told us that. Yeah, he did. I've written it right here. Galgron took some water of the pool from here. Presumably, it is in his pool.
Are you guys saying this all in character?
I don't know.
I mean,
I feel like
probably.
the person who's at the pool would know this already.
Well, considering that Mara doesn't actually carry a notebook around, then she wouldn't have gone, hang on a minute, I wrote this down.
I would have said it in character.
I just rolled an actual one.
Because fuck the Golden Dragon,
We're
he's
not-
full of
it's, the thing-
shit.
it's literally like we're trying to remember ourselves. We're not even trying to deceive somebody. It's like,
No, that was for something else. But Nazda, when you say "fuck the golden dragon," you just see like the old man's lip just twist very slightly for a brief second. Del sees it. Buckley.
So,
You believe she's unwell and she requires. She has an unwellness to her, certainly. And you just watch as he goes over, he just reaches down, and a small, simple, hand, crafted with a knife from wood cup, small cup that comes down to a little point, almost like a little a chalice. He just dips it down into the water, just blows over it, just with his. And there was a moment where it's not just air; it's almost like this force just pushes out from his mouth when he does it, and lingers into the drink and over the area around it. He then just puts his finger around the side, the entire lip of the cup, and it just a small seal appears on it. And he just offers it out towards the group.
What skin can carry more?
What's your name?
What
If
is
I
your
may.
name?
Because I don't want to call you Granddad.
I'm certainly some people's grandfather.
Not mine, and also, despite the fact that I'm about 200 years old, I'm sure you're older.
I'd say I'm quite older than 200.
Alright, fuck it, I'll call you Granddad. Is this just water, or is it something else? On its own?
It comes from the heavens.
That's
So
a no,
it's
I will not
easier.
drink it. Nope.
Yes, I would advise not drinking it. That cup is for one person. Bring that
Right.
back to Bratak. Do not let anyone else drink from it. And he's
I
looking
take
straight
it.
at you guys as he says it. With a very indication of you know exactly who he's.
I definitely take it then.
yeah, do not give it to Galgron. Good.
Yeah,
Good
it's
to
going
know.
to be pretty difficult to get something back off Nosda, so put that somewhere safe, preferably where you're not going to sweat into it or crush it against your pecs.
Ah, me.
Do not worry. No means of his will be able to break that glass.
This bottle has 40 AC.
No.
Tell me your secrets!
Well, Buckley can identify Buckley can
Blow
identify
on me.
the cup later if he wants, but for now it's already got something in it, so it's being used.
I will use it as a thimble.
Becomes his challenge every night to break it. I will find a way of breaking it.
the strongest of.
I'm gonna break these cuffs.
Runs and fucking yeets it at a wall and it bounces off the wall and hits him back in the head. It takes
Yeah.
him out.
That's what happened.
Shit.
As you're all laughing and there's this moment of revelry amongst all of you, you can come out now. They have what they need. And
One year.
you guys see from the house,
His name?
bending their head down to step out, you see an elven figure. Androgynous, with a circlet on their head. The center point is the design of a crescent moon, with a sun to one side, and all about the circlet is as if it's stars that are connected about it, all around. The older figure looks up to him. If you must continue your blood hunt, you may as well now request it and get him along with you.
Huh?
I think at this point Delmara probably kneels because she is an elf.
Yeah, guys, Del kneels.
I
fuck
go
you
ahead and
doing?
kneel, and
What?
I shove Sandy's head.
I fucking resist!
I have
well.
a 17 intelligence. I am not stupid.
I
I kneel.
I do
guess
not
That's in
kneel.
athletics.
Yeah, if you want to, sure.
I specifically do not kneel.
Where's my character?
The comedy.
Well, my cat will shit the fuck.
Flatix, you're on.
Do I have to make a roll to not
He
kneel?
resisted.
No, you don't. Delmar chose to kneel, and Alistair, do you kneel?
Grant
It's
doesn't
cool.
really
You
know
guys
what's
are on
going
first name
but
terms.
since-
Yeah, I was gonna say.
As a few of you do kneel in this presence. Stentor,
yeah,
you-
Grunt
or
does as
Nasser-
well.
Nasser- yeah, Grunt, you kneel.
She doesn't know what's going on, but since everyone else seems to be doing it,
You see Del kneel and goes, oh shit.
I lean on my hammer.
Yeah.
You just see like a hearty laugh coming from the older man and from the elven figure as Nasu just like stands there to fight.
What is just what? It's an elf. What do you want?
Child
What the
of Murden indeed.
Yeah, Dell's expression literally is just the sort of oh shit.
Yeah.
I don't think
And
it's
I'm
just-
more just like, oh god, there's another god in front of me. Fuck.
Too many gods!
Ah,
I don't think this is
I can't hold all of these
an
gods.
elf, Nazda. I think this is the elf. Is probably the word you were looking for.
What? I'm the dwarf.
Oh, by the way, Sanji, even amongst your like dwarven depictions and like ideals, this is one handsome or beautiful elf. You don't know if you should identify to either or but it is just radiant.
Look, I'm nice enough, and I'm speaking to Alistair, I'm nice enough not to say I want to fuck him immediately, alright? Just
Now, so you find yourself unable to speak.
Should've seen that guy.
Gotta love it.
Child of Murden indeed. So, as he looks about to the rest of you, gives a little head tilt to death.
Somebody noticed me. I'm sorry, I couldn't not say that.
My hunt. It's time. You know what will happen if you do not come with me.
I've been mulling it over for the past however long we've been awake.
About 8 hours.
I've thought of a million different things that we could do that might be different. But I highly doubt that they're not things that you've already thought of.
Partially the reason I gave you the vision was just in case. You have proven mortals have a distinct habit of thinking outside the box where gods can. But I want the best with me.
Well, guys, this is where we're gonna, at least for now, part ways.
What?
I'm not gonna be going back down the mountain with you, I'm afraid. I was given a vision last night as to what would happen if we didn't make a change, and it wasn't good. I saw at some point in our distant future when all of this eventually comes to a final climax, and it didn't end well in whatever the Battle of this town would have been called. So Corellin Lorethian here has invited me to go on somewhat of an assassination mission to try and pick off targets individually, but it's a solo mission, I'm afraid, because I can't have you guys coming with me because you need to continue with whatever's happening with Galgarond. You need to remain here and keep up this side of the fight.
Del, I don't hear you.
That's because she doesn't know what to say. I'm genuinely.
I genuinely didn't know if like you were doing that and you were
No,
trying to make noise or not. I was like,
that is literally like want to speak but don't know what to say.
It is asking for you specifically. I mean, I'd probably do the same thing if Murden came down and went, "Alright, Boyle, let's go craft some shit up." Like, yeah, I would probably go
watch
too.
as the old man makes his way back to the door and pokes his head in. No, you're fine.
What?
Wait, what?
And Buckley stands there with his arms open like, if he needs to come down and needs somebody, just saying, in a heartbeat.
Grunt just nods, puts a hand on Alistair's shoulder, and taps it a few times before letting go and signing good luck on.
I grab him, grab his arm, look at him with puppy eyes. I can't fucking talk. I squeeze, and I give him a big slap in the ass. Hang on, let me roll for damage.
Fitting.
And also, what I'm going to do is take a couple pieces of gold, fabricate it into a middle finger, and then heat metal, slap it onto his shoulder.
There's a small brand of a middle finger now on Alistair's shoulder.
You just fucking branded him.
It's on your bullet armor, though.
That's exactly why I did it, because it's on the armor, and that's how he'll remember us.
That's cool as shit. Something to remember us by. Apparently our logo is profanity.
I mean
would
I
it be
left
anything
one in
else?
the middle of the fucking desert.
You just hear the little child speak out. You should see Grumishes. But Corellian looks about to all of you, young Dawnbringers. I apologize for what I have to do, but there are things that must not find their way to the material realm, that can die outside of it. But should they come to Delanai, not even your scavengers, Ban Maktir, the Sea King, Galgaront, they would not stand a chance. But they can die on their own plane. This is not a goodbye. This is a until next time.
Drop us, don't drop us, don't drop us, don't drop us, please don't drop us, please don't drop us. I'm just waiting for the floor to disappear from beneath my fucking feet.
Actually, now that I think about it. Also, that middle finger should have like a small sun that's just coming
Sun
over the
on
horizon.
the. No, you know what the sun
Finger
is?
out of a rising sun.
It's out of the nail. It's out of the nail, actually. It's out of the nail.
No, it's gonna be behind it, so it's like a circle.
Okay, I get it.
I give my
The Dawnbringers. Fuck the world.
I'll give my final goodbyes to people, and I'll ask Buckley. I'll say, can you obviously get a message to Mugmug and Jonathan, and just let them know where I currently am for the time being.
Okay.
I'm sure they'll
I-
understand.
I give him a bullet and just go.
Should I write my name on it as well, just to really make sure? Or?
No, it's just a bullet.
Sentimental as always. Last time you gave me a rock.
I don't remember that.
Weirdly, I do remember the rock.
I actually remember the rock.
I don't doubt you because I'm sure I would do that, but I don't remember.
The only person who doesn't remember the rock was the guy who gave me the rock.
I'll
And
probably forget the bullet.
from the bag of holding, I'm going to take out the 5 silver arrows that are in there, the iron and silver filings that Buckley gave me at one point because they are a spell component for me. But I'll leave everything else that's in the rest of the bag, and I'll just take it off and I'll go over and put it on Del's over Del's shoulder.
Dick.
You guys will do alright without me, I'm sure.
I would recommend amongst you, whether or not it was fully agreed on or otherwise, having people who should now be the more appropriate individuals for giving direction should be considered amongst your small troop.
I immediately go over and hug Dell's leg.
Ting, like iron. My child, my hunter, are you ready?
Heroes
Um,
always get remembered.
And legends,
Buckley.
my boy, my legends never die.
Could you make a chain for me?
A chain,
What?
Yes.
just like an iron chain.
Yes. Something wear like a necklace.
I did give you a
Probably
chain at one point. A big one.
Yeah, he wants a little one for a necklace.
I rip off one of my scales
Oh, ow.
and I run it through the chain, and I give it to Spook. That
You
guy.
give it to Alistair, yeah.
Is it
Black.
gold or is it black?
Yes.
It is black. It is black with golden speckles. Like his
Now you-
true skin is.
Been cursed forever.
I'll think of it if I'm ever forced to eat a crappy meal. And maybe it might make the cake taste better.
So I didn't even hear you there. It's just really low for some reason.
Oh. Don't play up now. We're at the end of the night. I say, I'll think of it and I'll hold it every time I'm forced to eat a crappy meal, and it might make it taste better.
Fair enough, sir.
I don't have any sentiment.
You just gave me a bullet.
That's not sentiment.
By your standards, that is sentimental.
You gave him a rock.
Checks pockets. I got an old chewing gum.
Yeah, no,
It's still
I
got some
exactly
peppermint
remember-
flavor.
I remember whenever he gives you the rock because it was whenever he first left. He was like, "Oh, I'm going away. Here's the rock.
It's a nice rock.
A nice rock."
That is a nice
Off
boulder.
into the world he went.
Grunt signs that she doesn't have anything for him, but once she dies, you can have her head.
Have her, sorry, cut out there.
Head.
Head.
I think he wants
That would
to.
have been better with it cut out, really, wouldn't it?
Yeah, let's just pretend it still remained cut out.
Well, you seem to like collecting them.
Thanks, I would treasure it always.
As
She's
Corellian
got.
looks back
She
towards-
chuckles and said it would be the biggest kill you ever made.
As Corellian steps and opens his hand into the doorway, looking towards you expectantly, Alistair.
I push him.
I'll continue moving towards the doorway then, I suppose. Wondering what the hell is inside this tiny cabin.
Everything.
And simultaneously, nothing.
Russian rave.
Yep.
Yes.
Cracking women.
Yeah, Alistair, I'm not even going to make her make a deception check.
Yeah,
No.
I can feel her eyes burning into the side of my head.
Dell's shoulders
It's
are
called acting,
low.
guys.
Yeah, it's doing good. Dell's shoulders are low, and there's this distinct moment of apprehension, but not knowing what to say.
I squeeze the leg.
I turn around as I get to the door because I obviously know who I've not been spoken to by, and I'm just going to give a kind of got nothing to say. I could have walked through the door now. God knows how long I'll be gone for. Hey, if you're fortunate, I might even die while I'm out there.
Wouldn't that be lucky? No, go, be a hero.
Runt pushes Dell into him.
Oh, hang on. I'm on to. Ah, fuck!
If Noslo's clinging on to me, I probably don't move very far.
I let
Let's
go.
spook
I
him.
let go.
My
Okay.
strength being dragged along.
Yeah, once he lets go, push face to face.
Come on, you can say something. I know you can. You can say something nice. Just think like I would. Say something I'd say. It's real easy. Just say, Alistair, I will miss you because you are such a big part of my life and you do so much for me. And you still
I
do
turn
that.
around so that I'm not looking at them.
I wish I could talk right
We're
now.
not looking. You can do it now.
I'm looking.
I pick up
Never
the
break
dwarf
like
and
that.
turn him the other direction.
Nope. Mm-mm.
Like I said, just go be the hero, because I always knew you would be. Because we're not really that alike when it comes down to it.
I suppose not. Two sides of the same coin, maybe.
I couldn't be anything like you. You're too good.
Unfortunately, Del, you may have to be.
I hope not. Don't die. Otherwise I'm gonna have to come kill you.
I will definitely try my best.
What, the scroll of resurrection?
I don't know if I'd be able to use that. And also, probably not going to be much use to me if I've died.
Oh, I was talking to him.
Post him in
Correct.
vulnerability.
Yeah, the god like right next to you, looking at the religious
You
spell.
want it?
I'm alright.
In case he does.
Wouldn't be the first time I've lost someone on the hunt. Doesn't mean they stop being on.
Having slight second thoughts.
You have to come back.
I will, I'm sure.
You have to come back.
Okay. I'll come back.
'Cause I can't
One
do
of
it by
these.
myself.
Give it, come back.
Nasda's like, I'm right here. I'll be. You're not by yourself. I'm right here.
Alistair, I can't do it. But you can. Don't!
The whole point of all the bravado and the ego was to show you that you can do it. You gotta stand up for yourself.
Stop.
Because if he comes back, you're gonna need to be at your best. I was, and I still wasn't good enough. So you need to be at your best.
But you're so much better than me.
It's because I believe that I can do it. That's the only difference between you and me. When he shows up, I don't back down. I don't show that I'm afraid because that's what he wants. I meet him head on, and if it means dying, then so be it. I'd rather die to him than live in fear of him. Okay? You got the others to back you up. Just remember the new rule. Don't go anywhere alone. Definitely don't go anywhere alone. Okay?
Okay.
And I take my leave.
As you step through the door alongside Corelli and Lithgreen, the rest of you look about. Your cup is in your hand, Nazdo. And to the rest of you, you just watch the old man snap his finger. And you have your eyes closed, and you open them again. And you look about. And you look around. You're in the fields, you're in the plains. And there is New Grove, about a mile away.
The fuck was this glider for then?
I'm honestly mildly upset I couldn't use the glider.
Oh, I step out the door. Oh, by the way, I forgot. I'll hold on to it.
And with Alistair finally taking his leave, Delmara's hand extended up that little bit. That's where we're going to end the session. And end this chapter on the Dawnbringers alongside Alistair Dartwood, Hunter Extraordinaire.
I'd like to point out, I still haven't given an okay to that name. Get leave! Go away. Go away, you overpowered elf bastard!
Stole my boots, you fuck!
I'm still wearing them!
God damn it!
I might need them.
You might need them.
Yep, that's a family heirloom, god damn it. Oh,
And as you guys have now looked about, that is our session ended. Thank you all so much for watching. Next week will be our last week, and we'll have 2 weeks of break after that for CoxCon. And then a week after that, I'll also still be on break until, I believe it'll be the end of July, so it'll be the 27th. Let's see now. Yeah, it'll be the 27th that we have our next session, ideally. With a distinct lack of elven smugness.
Tomorrow's gonna have to deal with my shit alone. It's gonna
They will
be
not
great!
find your body.
Men.
Dwarf!
Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to love each other, and I hope you all have a great evening.